This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
People are driven by the search for better. But when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. The hiring process can be slow and overwhelming. Simplify hiring with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform. With over 350 million global monthly visitors according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Join more than 3.5 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. That's Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Terms and conditions apply.
Happy Friday!
Thank God it's Friday!
It's Friday!
Oh, I've been working through the week. A frosty beer is what I seek. And when I see it's 5 o'clock, that's when my office will get locked. And so I will run out the door, cause I cannot take anymore. I'm sick of working, I confess. So alcohol I will request it. Happy hour, I'll be grinning. The weekend is beginning. All my troubles will get wiped out on Friday.
It's Friday, player. Get it on. That's right. Get down with it.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Buzz is back.
It's about time.
Only on KLAQ.
Right. Thank you so much, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to Friday. Let's make it a fantastic Friday. Good morning, Joanna Barba.
Good morning, Buzz Adams.
I went to vote yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I could tell you, like, kind of the experience.
Yeah, tell us all about that.
Line was too long, and so I waited to see how fast the line was going to move and just sit there and kind of watch it. It wasn't moving real fast, so I'm like, I should not have come during the noon hour. That's when I went.
Everyone went out to lunch, going out to vote, maybe?
Yeah. So there was a long line. But unlike anything I have ever seen during early voting, anywhere in the world, but when I pulled up, I was like, boy, the parking lot is full for Sunland Park Mall. It was full because so many people were inside voting. I will not be dissuaded, however. I'm going to go back today. What time does the mall open? Because I want to get in there like as soon as I can. That's probably not a great idea.
When it opens?
Yeah, because there's probably a bunch of people.
People are probably going to be
lining
waiting.
up.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe if I go like around 10. But
maybe find a different polling place. You can vote anywhere that there's a polling place.
How many are there? How many polling places are there?
A few. There's quite a few. I have a list somewhere.
Yeah, find the list because I've been keeping my eyes peeled for them, like all the schools and the YMCAs and everything that I usually see them. I didn't see anyone. It was James Montoya, who's running for district attorney, who told me yesterday the mall. So,
okay.
I mean, I didn't know he wasn't doing a complete list or what, but I went to the mall. And I've done that before, too, in early voting. Gone to the mall and cast my vote. In, out, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that. If I decided to queue up and get in line, God, I don't even want to say it because it's gonna dissuade people from voting, and that's not what I want to do. But I went during the lunch break.
You just personally don't like waiting in line.
I can't. It's almost like I can't. Yeah. I can't abide it. You know what I mean? That's why I hate going to the airport so much. I cannot stand waiting in a line. Good morning, everybody. Everybody get out and vote.
Yeah, go vote.
Remember, the end of early voting is a week from today. After next Friday, you'll have to wait until November the 5th, Election Day, in order to cast your vote. Oh, boy. What do we have coming up today? Let me tell you. A few guests. Carlos Mencia the comedian, and our good friend Carlos is at the El Paso comic strip this week. He's going to do a Sunday show as well. So a Friday show, 2 Saturday shows, and a Sunday show. You can see Carlos Mencia at the El Paso comic strip. District Attorney Bill Hicks is going to be in to talk. We had his opponent on yesterday, and now it's District Attorney Hicks' turn to go on the air with us. So that is going to be coming up. And when's Nico going to show up? Any guesses? What do you think? Before 6:30? Let's make it 6:20. Over, under.
I'm going to say over.
Wow.
He hosted last night, remember?
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's make it 6:30. Over, under 6:30.
Still going to go over.
Wow. I'll take the under.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why I would do that.
If he's coming in right now and listening to this, don't listen.
Yeah.
He hates when we do this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? He could stop it immediately.
There is a solution for us to not do this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as apparent to him as it is to us. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Something I've developed a leak in my headphones or something. Tell me what's coming up on the Hollywood Cheese in about an hour.
A certain actor with a certain set of skills says he'll be retiring soon because he's going to be 70. He's 72, and he says it's got to stop at some time.
Yeah. How many Scottish badasses do you think there actually are in the United States? Because he's always like, this is the United States, clearly. My daughter's been kidnapped, but I have a very strong Irish accent.
And it's not like he's doing like romantic comedies anymore. He continues to do action movies.
Right.
He's out in the middle of the ice in the Arctic or something.
He's kind of it's the same character from Taken.
Yeah, ever since Taken. It's just the same one.
Right.
And yet,
they might give him
I
a different name,
still watch
but
all
it
of
is
them.
the same. How about A Walk Among the Tombstones? Did you ever see that one?
I will watch it. Well, I'll tell you more what Liam Neeson says about retiring.
I just want to say I'm still kind of confused by this revelation that Jamie Foxx said that he was drugged or poisoned at one of P. Diddy's parties. And I'll tell you why. There are people saying, yes, he definitely said it, but it's in the context of an upcoming comedy special. So was he joking? Because there are some people who are saying, like, I took it as a joke.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
Why is he saying it at a comedy stand-up special?
Well, it's his Netflix special. He hasn't done a stand-up comedy special in a long time.
Sure.
And I think this is how he's decided to address his serious health issues last year.
Okay.
It was 2023, by the way.
Yes.
But there are enough people. And one of Diddy's former bodyguards came out and confirmed not only did Diddy poison Jamie Foxx, but it was Jamie Foxx who called the FBI to report Diddy. So he might have been the one who really busted this whole thing open. Again, it's hard for me to tell what's a joke and what's serious. I mean, if it's true, it's certainly no laughing matter. So we have a little bit more on this, and the District Attorney of Los Angeles is going to announce today that a decision in the Menendez brothers case. Believe that he is going to give them, and I don't know if I got my terminology right here. He's going to give, I don't know if it's a retrial. Okay, here you go. The LADA will recommend that the Menendez brothers be resentenced and made eligible for parole, which means, depending on the outcome, they could be let go relatively soon because they've already been in there for over 30 years. Mm-hmm. But they killed their mom and dad with a shotgun, you know?
But the judge is saying, I think they've repaid their dues to society already.
All right. So we'll find out what's going on with that coming up. Also, tickets to the haunted house to give away. We'll have those on the way for you. And I've got Today in Sound clips coming up here in just a couple of moments on the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
Hi, it's Chuck, and tonight at 11 on Loudwire Night,
I'm asking for your Kimberly Skaggs, and I approve this message. Paid for by Kimberly Skaggs for New Mexico.
You are about to witness the most astounding living monstrosity
monster.
Everyone's favorite monster.
This is the morning show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, we're going to get started with sound clips today. Today in sound clips, coming up here in just a few minutes. I want to tell you about a couple of things. Today, 5 to 7, KLAQ is going to be at the Circle K, on the one on Montana at 11302 Montana. You can register to win one of our 8 remaining trips to see the Cowboys play in Dallas. These are home games courtesy of 915 Tours, Miller Lite, and KLAQ. El Paso's radio home for Dallas Cowboys football in El Paso. And the one that we're giving away next, Puga might be interested in this. He's a huge Eagles fan. 2 tickets to the Cowboys game against the Eagles, round-trip transportation. You get to stay at the Omni Los Colinas, very ritzy. Meet and greet with current players and Cowboys legends. The ultimate tailgate party, you get a ticket to that. We also give you $100 spending cash. So that's the airfare, the hotel, the tickets to the game, tickets to a few special parties, and $100 spending cash. Keep listening for more opportunities to sign up for Dallas Cowboys touchdown getaways. But that is 5 to 7 today. Glenn's going to be there. Glenn will be there from 5 to 7 this afternoon, and you might win this trip or any of the remaining trips to see the Dallas Cowboys play. We're going to have DA Bill Hicks coming up later, and then we have some more election interviews next week. But it's getting really close, man. What is it, a week from this?
Yeah, I think next week is final week of early voting.
Yeah, next week is final week of early voting.
And then following Tuesday, Election Day.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our sound clips for today.
And now, today in sound clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actualities. So here's something that we talked about. The district attorney in Los Angeles County, George Gascon, is going to ask a judge for the Menendez brothers to be resentenced. Here is, at a press conference yesterday, DA George Gascon. He said that the decision to ask for the resentencing was definitely not unanimous by his office.
I have to tell you unequivocally that we don't have a universal agreement. There are people in the office that strongly believe that the Menendez brothers should stay in prison the rest of their life. And they do not believe that they were molested. And there are people in the office that strongly believe that they should be released immediately.
Gascon, the district attorney there in L.A., announced he would recommend that the resentencing be scheduled.
I have to tell you that after a very careful review of all the arguments that were made for people on both sides of this equation, I came to a place where I believe that under the law, resentencing is appropriate, and I am going to recommend that to a court tomorrow.
So the request was for the life sentence without possibility of parole to be removed. We're going to find out what that means in a couple more clips from L.A. District Attorney George Gascon in this clip.
What that means in this particular case is that we're going to recommend to the court that the life without the possibility of parole be removed and that they will be sentenced for murder.
Now, we asked the question earlier, if they are resentenced, not retried, so they wouldn't have to go through a trial again, but if they're resentenced, how soon could the Menendez brothers be out of prison?
Which, because there are 2 murders involved, that would be 50 years to life. However, because of their age, under the law, since they were under 26 years of age at the time that these crimes occurred, they will be eligible for parole immediately.
Wow.
Wow, I don't understand all that, but if you're under age 26, you get different sentencing guidelines?
Right.
I'm confused by that. Have you watched the documentary or the or the scripted
The
docudrama?
Netflix
Yeah, the
show?
Netflix.
No, I haven't.
Did you know that McDonald's is experiencing an outbreak of E. coli? No, before I say that, not every McDonald's, but
Not every McDonald's, but because of those onions. And they're saying the onions specific to the quarter pounders.
I love the quarter pounders.
Quarter pounders are fire.
Mm-hmm, they're the best with cheese too. You ever done a double quarter pounder with cheese?
No.
That's a half pound. McDonald's said yesterday that the supplier of the onions suspected to be connected to the E. coli outbreak has been identified. McDonald's said the Taylor Farms supplied the slivered onions. The CDC and the FDA are both saying that is the source of the contamination, or at least that's what they're focusing on. A Colorado man filed a lawsuit against McDonald's in Illinois, alleging he had tested positive for E. coli just a few days after eating at McDonald's in Colorado. All right, our clip here is from Rutgers University professor Donald Schaffner. Said he was surprised that McDonald's could be involved in something like the current E. coli outbreak.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that it was McDonald's that got bit by this particular problem. They take food safety very seriously. They put a lot of pressure on their employees and on their suppliers to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen.
So now we know why Grimace looks like that. You know, before I heard this McDonald's story, I saw a few people like making memes and stuff, but also people who work at McDonald's commenting when Donald Trump was working the fry machine, he wasn't wearing a hairnet or gloves, which are required. And I'm thinking, maybe he started the E. coli.
What a coincidence.
That's an interesting thing. So McDonald's somehow pissed off people on both sides of the political aisle.
Right.
There are some Democrats that didn't you say that their stock plummeted?
Their stock has plummeted
Because people didn't like that McDonald's let Trump work their fry machine. Now,
I don't think it's directly correlated to that, but it's just that recently their stock has plummeted, and then they have this E. coli outbreak that's not helping.
But Trump fans are pissed off that McDonald's didn't go the extra step and endorse Donald Trump for president, which I don't think McDonald's ever makes presidential endorsements. McDonald's has said in a statement that they do not endorse political candidates, period. Hey, over here said it obviously confused Mayor McCheese. All right, let's see what else we have going on today in our sound clips. Police have busted a crime ring that was stealing golf carts. This happened in Canada. They broke up a crime ring targeting golf carts. More than a dozen courses were hit. Police found, now this came as a surprise to me, 18 golf carts that were valued at around $200,000 total. Those must have been the ones with the GPS built right into it. Maybe it's got a little AC up front.
Looked like one person would put the cart in neutral and push it out, and then the other one would get the other cart started. Well, it's that violation.
Oh, my God. Did you hear that?
You took me out when you did that. Don't do that.
Looked like one person would put the cart in neutral and push it out, and then the other one would get the other cart started. Well, it's that violation feeling, and then you have that anger or sadness.
To move one golf cart, some guy can do that with a pickup truck. To move 6 golf carts, you need a flatbed. You need to be working as a team.
That's the major difference. They play baseball in Canada, but the umpire calls you out. You're not safe. You're out. The old sad news today, but I guess we shouldn't be too surprised. The oldest living person in the United States has passed away at the age of 115 years old.
Wow.
Elizabeth Francis was 115 when she passed away. Here is we're going to hear from the late Miss Francis, her granddaughter and daughter. And they were talking about last year when she turned 114.
Now, do you smoke?
Never have.
Do you drink?
Oh, no, ma'am.
What do you eat?
Everything.
Whenever you went to her house, I don't care what day of the week, she was cooking. So I just think that had a lot to do with it too, just how she, took care of her body and things like that.
It's hard to believe, but it's a blessing. Because she has been a wonderful mother and grandmother.
Why do you think you lived so long?
His blessing. The Lord bless him.
A woman in upstate New York needed a new kidney, and she found one at a bar. That's probably why you need the new kidney.
Right? Should you be at a bar if you need a kidney?
Kate Marsh had been on dialysis for a few years when she walked into a place called Tavern on the Mall in upstate New York. She was there to pick up takeout food, okay?
Oh, okay.
And a bottle of vodka. No, I don't know about that. The owner asked everyone at the bar, what's your blood type? And a local teacher turned out to be a match for the lady who walked into the bar. Here are Kate Marsh, the recipient, and donor Allison Quilos telling the story.
Is anybody here O positive? I got a friend that needs a kidney, and my husband and I both said we're O positive. Not only the same blood type, we have the same tissue type, and we had common genetic markers too, and we're not related.
There's just so much life to live. She gave me it. She didn't know me.
We have to be there for each other through the highs and the lows.
Yeah. She's incredible. I couldn't have asked for a better donor.
Wow.
At a bar.
At a bar.
See, I think maybe if I were the recipient, I would have a few questions like, how often do you go out and drink it? How often do you go out to bars?
You start questioning them there.
Right.
Why are you here at this bar right now?
I don't want to get some janky secondhand kidney. I don't have a sound clip necessarily with this one, but this is the latest on the thing about Jamie Foxx saying that Diddy was responsible for putting him in a coma.
Dang.
Did he do it? Did he did it? Or did he not? Earlier this month, they did a taping of his comedy special, Jamie Foxx's upcoming comedy special on Netflix. And during the course of that, he blamed Diddy for his health emergency. One witness claims Jamie Foxx said Diddy did something that caused his hospitalization. He also said that that Jamie Foxx claimed on stage that he's the one who notified the FBI. But since it was during the taping of a comedy special, I don't know at what level
what
to take this.
Strange place to air that out.
And believe me, I'm a big Jamie Foxx fan. Him and Ray, the biopic about Ray Charles, brilliant. He's just so good. And he's super talented. He sings like a professional singer. He plays piano like a professional piano
And there was
player. He's
just
the best.
so much mystery when he ended up hospitalized that it made a lot of people question.
I definitely wanted to know, but I'm not sure if we're getting the real story because it's in the context of a comedy show.
Yeah.
Another alleged attendees say Jamie told the crowd that Diddy poisoned him. However, a third person claims that while Jamie Foxx did a bunch of Diddy jokes, he didn't blame Diddy for his health issues. According to this witness, what Fox had said was, people keep asking me if Diddy was responsible. Were they?
Well, was he?
Because I didn't hear about this till yesterday, and it was from a caller. Jamie Foxx said, people keep asking me if Diddy was responsible. He was not responsible. If he was, I would have been dead. You know what I mean? It's hard to parse since he's doing it in the middle of jokes.
Right.
On a somewhat related note, J-Lo's first husband, Ohani Noah, claims that J-Lo knows all about P. Diddy's freak-offs.
Oh, and didn't he also say, like, Yeah, Diddy was totally responsible for her divorce or something.
I didn't hear that part.
I think that's what he's saying.
All right. Well, there you have it. Today in Sound Clips. Great show coming up for you today. We're going to have podcaster Keela Hughes coming up in just a few minutes. El Paso County District Attorney Bill Hicks is going to be coming by, and the great comedian Carlos Mencia is also going to drop by and visit us in the studio coming up in just a few minutes.
The Daily Calendar.
Today, October 25th.
It's the spookiest week of the year, other than Thanksgiving, of course.
Hi, family.
The last Friday of October is always Frankenstein Friday, so build a monster. It's National Greasy Food Day, so you kind of gotta cheat on your diet.
Honey, it's the wolves.
It's Punk for a Day, celebrating the punk movement. Just celebrate your own individuality there, bucko.
You're not the boss of me.
And that's your Daily Calendar.
Good morning, Chuck Armstrong here, and I will be along tonight at 7 to get your weekend off to a rockin' start with Loudwire Nights. Then tomorrow at 5, it's 2 hours of ultimate
For your property, your family's safety, and your peace of mind, Doppler Dave Spielman, the Borderlands chief meteorologist.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
If you're looking for weekend plans, there's a lot of stuff going on in El Paso, but I want to tell you that the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror is going to be open tonight, 7 to midnight, Saturday, 7 to midnight, and on Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. Joanne, I know everything about it except I can't remember the street address. Do you have that in front of you?
Oh, my.
Yeah, I think my liner got pitched. That is the thing the thing that gives us all the details. I think it got thrown out.
Oh, no. And why is there no updated one here?
I don't know. Did they take them out? Sometimes they do that. It's like, we're going to come out and take these out. But anyway, it's where Desert Warriors paintball is. Don't worry,
13900 Montana.
13900 Montana. So head out there. You can get your tickets at the door and enjoy the KLAQ Haunted House of Terror.
For Halloween weekend.
Mm-hmm. We have a guest coming up who is Keela Hughes, who's a writer and a contributor to things like Comedy Central, a podcaster, and a writer and a comedian. Keela Hughes grew up in Kentucky, and her school's mascot was a Confederate general. So she is doing a podcast about how she went back to her hometown in Kentucky to try and convince them to change the mascot from a Confederate general to something that everybody in the South loves.
And you're like deeply invested in this podcast, aren't you?
It's really good, yeah. It's really compelling. Like I can't wait to see what happens because I haven't finished the whole thing.
No spoilers,
yeah,
anyone.
Yeah, we're going to have her coming up here in just a few minutes. Get a preview of Loudwire Nights for tonight. Happy birthday to the drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad Smith, who everybody says looks like, do you know?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, and they've done appearances together where they really do.
They've done like drum face-offs.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday to Judas Priest, Glenn Tipton. Glenn had to step back from the band, but he still makes guest appearances every now and then, so we're going to have some extra Priest on for you. 9 o'clock, we got the Loud List on the way. It's all about Black Sabbath and 20 facts you probably don't know about Black Sabbath. 11 o'clock is the Pit Metal Hour and some of the things on the playlist. Pantera, Ice Nine Kills Joanna, Hatebreed, Body Count, and Tool. Just some of the bands that are going to be featured. That is tonight, Loudwire Nights, 7 to midnight on 95.5 KLAQ. Hey, Keela. Hi, Keela.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Hi there. Hey. So the premise is you go back to your high school after 15 years, want them to change the mascot because they're the rebels. I know that's just touching the surface. Can you go a little more in-depth for us?
Totally. So I'm from Florence, Kentucky, which is the northest south. It's about 10 minutes south of Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. And Yeah, my high school mascot was a Confederate general named Mr. Rebel. Our team was the Rebels. Light stuff. And, my intention is really to change the mascot. With the podcast, we're hoping to change it to the Biscuits, which is something that the South can be proud of, that everyone in the South can be proud of.
I think everybody, even vegetarians, can
love
get
biscuits.
on board biscuits.
Exactly. Who doesn't love them? They're warm. They're welcoming. If somebody brought them out, you'd have one,
I got a question real quick as we're going to... Kentucky didn't secede from the Union in the Civil War. They were a slave owning state, but they didn't secede from the Union. They weren't technically rebels, right?
Exactly. They didn't walk that talk. You know what I'm saying? It's stolen valor if you think about it.
Kind of.
Yeah, they really didn't. And that's what I think makes it, one of the many things that makes it very fascinating to sort of parse through why they think it's a good mascot for the area anyway.
I was listening to your podcast. I'm not that familiar with Florence, but actually I am, because when I found out your high school was Boone County, I'm familiar with Boone County. Because, you know why? Because there was one of my friends told me, you got to watch this documentary about this crazy family in Boone County, Kentucky, called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of Boone County. Have you ever heard of that before?
No, and I'm writing it down immediately.
Yeah, you got to go see it. These people are something else. And you're really a suburb, though. If you're 10 minutes from Cincinnati, you're a suburb of a major American city.
Oh, exactly. And that's what I think, one of the main things that comes through is that this is a very diverse area. Cincinnati attracts people from all over the world. Even though Kentucky, especially once you get towards Boone County, starts to be a little bit more rural, it's very suburban. The main attraction was a mall, which brought people from all over the South and the North. So
it used to be the Florence Mall, but it's now, tell them why it's now the Florence Y'all.
Yes. So Florence, Kentucky is on I-75 South, a huge highway. If you've ever driven from Michigan to Florida, it is the main highway. And we have a giant water tower. Enormous. You've never seen anything like it, I promise.
Oh, wow.
It's red and white striped, and it says Florence Y'all because it initially said Florence Mall, but you can't advertise on public work. You also can't have letters that big. And so sort of in a fit of panic, the Kentucky decided, okay, well, let's just paint over the sides of the M and make it say y'all.
Right. Somebody had to shimmy up that water tower with a bucket of white paint and adjust the word so it said Florence Y'all.
Yeah.
Which actually seems kind of, from what I'm learning about Florence from listening to your podcast, that sounds kind of like the mood. Yay, y'all. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a terrible place, is it?
Not at all.
Okay.
I love going home. I think that I think the South generally is overlooked and in many ways misunderstood, but I love it, and I think that it has more potential than anywhere I've ever lived.
Akila, I'm wondering, did you get any pushback from people who want...
Oh, yeah. This is the point. I'm getting to that in the podcast.
Oh, okay.
That's so funny. Everybody loved it. No kidding. There's definitely pushback. And I would say it's probably who you would expect. People who, older individuals who have lived in the area for 70 years who...
I grew up with this.
Exactly. This is our rebel and you're trying to take our history. And, that's really not the case. I think that we can honor history and tell the truth, but also just look at the demographic of the school, most of these older white people who are upset about it have black grandkids now. Let's just be honest about the way the country's moving.
Yeah, I've heard more and more. I can't be racist. I have black grandkids. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure that's the standard to make you not racist.
Right. And if so, maybe listen to them. Because when we talk to those black grandkids, they're like, we don't know what the rebel is supposed to be. We don't identify with it. The school has already gotten rid of the physical mascot, so there just doesn't seem to be a reason to keep it.
I want to ask you about the physical mascot. So I want to make sure I'm understanding this. This is Akila Hughes, and our podcast right now is called Rebel Spirit. They didn't have a student dressed up in a poofy mascot until you were in high school?
Well, that's the thing. So they had one in the 90s, and then kind of oddly in Cincinnati, there was this police brutality incident. And so things got very tense where I'm from. And I think as a response to that, they got rid of the Confederate flag on the gym floor and they got rid of Mr. Rebel. But then my senior year in 2005, at the last pep rally of the year, they just brought him back. And we were all like, what? Let him go.
And it was like a pep rally where they introduced him as like, look, we brought the rebel dude back.
Yes, and it was, I mean, a mixed reviews. You know what I mean? Scattered applause.
Now, we're getting to the point where I do not want to have the rest of it spoiled for me, so you've got to listen to Rebel Spirit on your own. But I will say, when I was listening to it, I thought I had a pretty brilliant idea. And if you've talked to any members of the nerd community, maybe they've said the same thing. Any school where it's the Rebels, anything the Rebels, change the affiliation for the Confederacy.
Are you doing a Star Wars?
Yeah, it's a Star Wars.
Absolutely. I felt it coming.
Instead of the stars and bars, you have that signet of the rebellion,
stars
right?
and bars.
And then it's like, yeah, we're rebels, just like Luke Skywalker. And
But then you would
Han
have to face the Empire every year.
Right. They all come with their own pros and cons.
I don't know if your biscuit proposal has been adopted. I don't want to know. I mean, because
look it up.
I'm not going to look it up, but I think everybody else, if you want to find out the answer, is the Boone County High School, are they now the biscuits? I can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
All right, Akila,
Yes.
thank you very much. Appreciate the
Thanks for
podcast.
having me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank
seriously.
you very much.
Thanks,
We'll talk to you
guys.
soon. Bye-bye.
I am evil.
Buzz will be back.
Evil existed long before good.
Spanish. Gracias.
Language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheese May on the way for us. That's coming up shortly. Nico is on his way. District Attorney Bill Hicks is coming in this morning. Don't forget, Election Day's a week from Tuesday, right?
Yes.
And comedian Carlos Mencia is in town this weekend, and he's going to come and join us in the studio. Shows tonight, Saturday and Sunday. Two shows on Saturday at the El Paso Comic Strip with Carlos Mencia. Before we get to the Hollywood Cheese May, Joanna,
Yes.
why don't we go ahead and do the Mo Show Calendar Daily Almanac of Events?
Oh, we could do that.
We got a few birthdays and also a lot of things special about the last Friday in the month of October this year. Today is Frankenstein Friday.
Ooh.
Today is Global Champagne Day. You like champagne?
Yeah. I think I've only ever had like sparkling wine though.
Yeah, right. So that means what?
It's not real champagne.
It didn't come from France?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's champagne. It's the same stuff.
I must still call it champagne.
Yeah, I'm going to call it champagne. That's the only kind of wine that I like.
The bubbly.
Yeah. Because it's carbonated like a soft drink. I think that's why I like it so much. Today is National Breadsticks Day. All right.
Yum. Freaking love breadsticks.
Do they give you bread? They give you breadsticks at Olive Garden or Carino's or both?
I think both.
Yeah. Today is World Pasta Day.
Oh,
well-
perfect for the breadsticks. Just
Right?
an all-out carb fest.
There you go. That's basically the Carino's menu. I do like it. Carino's isn't open anymore, is it?
It's not. I think there's like one location.
I think the one, though, on the west side across from Sunland Park Mall.
Oh, yeah, that
closed.
one closed a while back.
Birthdays today include Katy Perry. The singer turns 40 years old today. Craig Robinson from The Office, and you've seen him in movies like Hot Tub Time Machine.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Robinson's 53 today. Hall of Fame pitcher, three times Cy Young Award winner, and World Series winner Pedro Martinez, formerly of the Boston Red Sox, 53 today. Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer Chad Smith is 63, and I guess he bears more than a passing resemblance to Will Ferrell. Nancy Cartwright's 67. Do you know who Nancy Cartwright is?
One of the voices on The Simpsons?
Yeah, which one? Who does she voice?
Oh, Marge?
No.
Lisa?
No. Wow.
No.
She's the voice of Bart.
Bart!
Mm-hmm.
It was one of The Simpsons.
She also does Rod and Todd Flanders, Ralph Wiggum, and Nelson Muntz.
An icon.
Glenn Tipton of Judas Priest is 77. He is battling Parkinson's, so he couldn't. He doesn't go out on tour, but he does make guest appearances sometimes, and that's always great to see when they're able to bring out Glenn Tipton and he's still able to play even with all the struggles that he's going through and everything. So, Glenn Tipton, happy birthday to you, 77. And yes, singer John Anderson turns 80 today. Owner of a lonely heart,
yeah.
so much better than
Owner of a
broken heart. I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied they're on their way. Also, this is hard to believe. Marion Ross, who played Richie's mom, Marion Cunningham, on Happy Days, is alive and celebrating her birthday today.
Mrs. C?
Mrs. C is 96.
Oh, my.
If you're younger, you might recognize her as the voice of SpongeBob's grandma. Happy birthday, the great Marion Ross.
She was also the grandma in that 70s show.
Really?
Yeah.
Dates in history for you. 60 years ago, Joanna, in 1964, the Rolling Stones made their first appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show. The Sullivan Show received so many letters of complaint.
Uh-oh.
Ed Sullivan promised his viewers they would never have the Rolling Stones on the show again.
Uh-oh.
They came back the next year.
So we're going to try it again.
I know what I said last year about here once again, the Rolling Stones. And it was 1955 on this date, the first microwave oven was sold. By Tappan. What do you think if you wanted to go in and buy the first generation microwave in 1955, just a guess, what do you think it cost you in 1955
In
dollars?
$1955, a good old $90.
$1,200.
Oh my God.
Hey.
I was not prepared for that answer.
But you could cook bacon in under 3 minutes.
Ooh, that almost gave me a heart attack.
Now, if you go to
buy
Walmart,
so many air fryers with that much money now.
You could go into a Walmart and buy an air fryer for like $30, or a microwave. I think you get that for like $40.
You could get that super fancy microwave that you see on TikTok where it looks like a drawer, but it's a microwave.
It looks like a drawer.
Yeah, like
but
you
it's a
open
microwave.
it like a drawer, but it's a microwave.
Do they have to install it?
I
like
think
in one of
so,
your
but
drawers?
it looks so fancy because it doesn't like really make any noise or anything.
Wait, what if I got something tall that I want to heat up and it's too tall for the drawer? Maybe I'm just not picturing it right.
Yeah, I'll show you a video. You got to see these microwaves.
All right. And it is World Pasta Day.
Yum.
Is that, you got a favorite?
Like pasta?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything carby is really good.
Good old spaghetti.
A good old spaghetti,
Lasagna.
maybe an Alfredo.
Fettuccine Alfredo. Fortunately, we have a song all about pasta here on Global Pasta Day to celebrate.
I love pasta, it's my favorite thing to eat. Any way you serve it to me, I will think that it's a treat. Boil the water, cook it in a pot, and sauce it in a pan. Then dump it out onto my plate, and I'll eat all I can. Fettuccine, spaghettini, manicotti. spaghetti, ravioli, tortellini, cannelloni, rigatoni, bucatini, baked lasagna and baked ziti, pasta penne and linguine, broccoli, fusilli, macaroni and cheese.
I don't think they said ziti. I didn't hear ziti anywhere in there. Cheese man. Here is Joanna Barba with today's Hollywood Cheese May entertainment news from around the world. Good morning, Joanna.
Oh, good morning to you. And can I just say, I got a very lovely message in the app chat. And somebody would like to wish a very happy birthday to Maverick Mota from Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay.
He is turning 8 years old, Buzz, and he loves to listen to the morning show on his way to school.
What is the birthday boy's name again?
Maverick.
Maverick.
Nice
Happy birthday.
name.
Yeah, no kidding. Happy birthday,
Happy
Maverick.
birthday. 8 years old. Anyway, good morning. It's entertainment news time. 824 will make certain movie theaters smell like blueberry pie during a pivotal scene on the upcoming Hugh Grant horror film Heretic.
Have you seen the trailer for
I
it?
have.
Yeah, we should go see that one together.
Yeah, let's make that a BJ's at the movies.
Yeah.
The movie company has partnered with Joya Studio to bring multi-sensory screenings exclusively to Alamo Drafthouse theaters nationwide.
Perfect.
The immersive movie-going experience will take place at advanced screenings on October 30th, ahead of the November 8th release date in the U.S. I'm sorry, can you talk amongst yourself? Someone's calling into the hotline.
Interesting.
Who could it be at this time?
One of our guests, perhaps.
Give me a second.
While you're doing that, I'm going to tell the people that Smell-O-Vision first came out in the 1950s, where they would pump different scents into the movie theater. It says here, Smell-O-Vision is a system that released odor during the projection of a film so the viewer could smell what was happening in the movie. The process injected 30 odors into a movie theater seats when triggered by the film's soundtrack.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, one of our guests is here. Well, Heretic follows two young missionaries who knock on the wrong door and meet the diabolical Mr. Reed, played by Hugh Grant. As shown in the trailer, they tell Mr. Reed that they aren't allowed to enter his house without another woman present.
Oh, my wife's just upstairs.
Yes, and he says that his wife is baking a blueberry pie in the kitchen, which is when Alamo Drafthouse will release the scent into movie theaters. Tickets to the multi-sensory screenings at Alamo Drafthouse are now available for purchase. All other advanced screenings will have exclusive treats and scratch and sniff cards that will immerse viewers in the film as well. In the Martha Stewart documentary, Martha, she talks about her time in federal prison, of course, when she did her stint back in 2004, including a 24-hour stint in solitary with no food or water. She claimed that it was because she touched a guard in passing, which is a no-no under any circumstances, thus the punishment. However, the Federal Bureau of Prisons says that never happened.
Oh.
In a statement to Us magazine, the Federal Bureau says, quote, "The Federal Bureau of Prisons does not have solitary confinement units. While some facilities have restrictive housing units, Federal Prison Camp Alderson, where Stewart was
You
incarcerated..."
mean Camp Cupcake?
They say that prison did not have one of those restrictive housing units.
Do you think Martha Stewart just got put in like a timeout and she counted
And
that
she
as...
thinks, she's like, that was totally solitary confinement.
I think everybody who's been on the inside tries to embellish their experiences while they were in there, probably.
Right. They continued by saying, quote, "While in these areas, incarcerated individuals are consistently provided with regular meals and access to water, but no response yet from Martha Stewart's people." Martha, the documentary, will premiere on Netflix October 30th. Taken star Liam Neeson is considering retiring from action movies and already has an end date in mind. Speaking to People magazine, Neeson said of his future plans, quote, "I'm 72. It has to stop at some time. You can't fool audiences, and I can't have my stunt double Mark fighting my fight scenes for me.
I have a very specific set of skills that include playing an action star way past my prime.
Maybe the end of next year. I think that's it.
He was almost 60 when the first Taken came out.
2008. Ever since 2008, Taken, Neeson has showcased his
so many
particular
different
set of
movies
skills.
that were basically the same thing. Here's this old dude who used to be an assassin or used to be, whatever. It's the same movie over and over again.
In those past 15 years, he has appeared in several mid-budget action films, including Taken 2, Taken 3.
That's not true what you're saying. It'll walk among the tombstones. My son was kidnapped, not my daughter.
One of my personal bonkers favorites, 2021's The Ice Road. Have you seen that one? He plays like a truck driver.
And he's driving with his brother.
And he has to navigate like these icy roads.
Wait, and his brother is in it?
Yeah.
Not Liam Neeson's brother.
Yeah. And he has to go help rescue miners. I love that movie.
Really?
Yeah. Neeson is next set to star in The Naked Gun, a reboot of the 80s spoof police procedural. That is set to release on July 18th of 2025. So we have about another year where he's doing these movies.
I want to say I'm officially opposed to a Naked Gun reboot.
Oh,
100%. Nobody's face can be as funny as Leslie Nielsen's face.
Leslie Nielsen was a real comedic treasure, really. Lorne Michaels says that he was angry when Shane Gillis was fired from Saturday Night Live in 2019 over resurfaced jokes using racist and homophobic language.
Didn't Lorne fire him?
No. I'm so happy you asked that because he's saying that decision was not his. When speaking to the Wall Street Journal, the showrunner confirmed that the decision was actually made by NBC and not himself. He said, quote, "I was angry. I thought, you haven't seen what we're going to do, and I'm going to try to bring out all of that in him because I thought he was the real thing. I was not on that side, and it obviously came from higher above." Gillis was fired before even appearing in a single episode of SNL, but he did come back to host an episode this past February. It was a controversial choice, but Michaels has stayed in touch while the comedian became a top stand-up act. Elsewhere in the interview, Michaels insisted that SNL doesn't intentionally take a political stance and says, quote, "There's stupidity on both sides. Our job is to make fun of it." And finally, Buzz, you're a big fan of The Penguin.
Oh, big fan.
John Turturro, who was in the movie The Batman in 2022.
Yeah, he's not.
He is not in The Penguin.
Well, he died in The Batman, but they're bringing his character back through flashbacks.
Right.
And it's Mark Strong.
Yes, very good. Yeah. Well, his character didn't appear in those flashbacks and was replaced by Mark Strong. And now, speaking to Variety, he's saying the reason why he didn't decide to come back to the role and said, quote, "I did what I wanted with the role in the show. There was a lot of violence towards women, and that's not my thing."
There was a lot of violence towards women in The Batman. His character tried to strangle Zoe Kravitz to death.
He's also saying that because a lot of that violence is kind of done off screen and just hinted, he says that makes it much worse. Well, now the showrunner to The Penguin, Lauren LaFranc, is speaking to The Wrap and said about his absence, quote, "I completely respect an actor who doesn't want to take on a role for whatever their personal reasons. I only want people to join our show who are excited and want to further the story we're trying to tell. I think Mark Strong did a really fantastic job. He made the character his own and also really honored what John Turturro did." Okay. So it seems like everyone's happy. How's the show going?
Great. I think it's just great. Colin Farrell is really making me think that he might be my favorite actor.
Oh, nice.
He's really, really good.
Do I have to watch The Batman to understand The Penguin?
Not necessarily, but
it would help.
It would definitely help. And
I may do that.
I watched The Batman again, and I was struck again by just what an amazing movie that is.
I may just start watching that as soon as I'm done watching all these horror movies this month.
Yeah.
I'm going to start
November.
Yeah, come November.
Batvember.
Batvember.
For Joanna.
With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
Politicians aren't just ignoring, defying the law they swore to uphold. Advocate for America paid for and is responsible for the content of this ad.
Oh, we're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz in the Morning Show, 95.5 The Q.
With the November 5th election date just a week from Tuesday, joining us, El Paso District Attorney Bill Hicks is in the studio. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Buzz. How
Great
you doing?
to see you.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Thanks for dropping by. Are you enjoying your what's it called?
Pamplemousse LaCroix water.
Pamplemousse.
Ooh, yum.
So we had your opponent on. You ever been pamplemousse before?
No, that's the first. That's the first.
Early voting continues, but the cutoff for early voting is a week from today.
Yes.
And then Tuesday is Election Day. I want to bring up a few points from the interview we did yesterday with your opponent. James Montoya said that people have told him morale is as low in the DA's office as it ever was under the Rosales term. What is your response to that? Is there low morale in the DA's office?
No, absolutely not. And Buzz, I can sit here and just go back and forth and tell you, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's a great morale, great morale. Let me just give you some factual examples.
All right, good.
Okay. So this past summer, we had 4 interns that I had brought in on our long-term recruitment program. So these are interns, law school students from Houston area law schools. These guys could have gone to anywhere in the state of Texas. They got them to come to El Paso to intern for us. They, at the end of their internship, all 4 of them said, hey, I don't have any ties to El Paso, no family here, anything. But you know what? My internship was so great. El Paso is such an awesome place to live. When I graduate law school, I not only want to come back to live in El Paso,
really?
I want to be in the district attorney's office. I want to work for you, Mr. Hicks.
Turnover was something else he brought up. Is there a dire issue with turnover inside the DA's office?
We had, so when I took over, I had 63, 65 attorneys. Now we have 74 attorneys, and I still have 4 outstanding job offers. So while we have lost some attorneys along the way, because we lost a lot of those Rosales hired attorneys, I have more than made up for all of the attorneys that have left. So we have made up for anyone that has left, those Rosales attorneys that she had hired, and now we have more attorneys than we started out with, and we are well on track to keeping that trend going.
What are your policies, Bill Hicks, the district attorney, going forward, your priorities, and how are you uniquely qualified to carry through and address those policies?
I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. Look, I've been an attorney for 26 years. My opponent for 11 years. I was in the DA's office for 12 and a half years. My opponent for 7 years. I was a special assistant U.S. attorney for 4 years. My opponent, assistant U.S. attorney for 2 years. I was a criminal defense attorney for 9 years. My opponent's been a criminal defense attorney for 2 years. Most importantly, I was a district court judge for 2 years. My opponent has 0 experience as a judge. But most importantly, I've been supervising people in one form or another, supervising people for over 15 years. I've been managing budgets for over 15 years. My opponent to this day does not manage or supervise a single person, and he does not manage or has never managed anything more than maybe his own pocketbook, right? His own budget, his own home budget. Never anything more than that. The district attorney's office has 220 people and a budget of $33 million. We can't afford anyone with on-the-job training, learning how to manage people, learning how to do budgets. We can't afford that. I have that experience. I have been doing that job for 2 years now, not to mention the wealth of experience I brought to the job. That this election's about leadership and experience. I have it. He doesn't.
All right. I think one of the things being in El Paso that is the forefront of many people's mind is the Walmart shooter case. And, rightly or wrongly, people are going to wonder which district attorney is going to see this through the best. if it's you, tell me why.
Okay. Well, first off, and I truly understand everyone's frustration because I have that frustration as well. You got to remember that for almost 4 years, he sat in federal custody.
The prisoner.
The shooter himself, right? He sat in federal custody. While he's in federal custody, the state cannot move forward on our case. We did not get him back into state custody until July of 2023. So for all of that time, from November of 2019 all the way through July of 2023, the state could not move its case forward.
Mm-hmm.
We get him back in July of 2023. In December of 2023, I announced ready to go, ready for trial. Okay. Since then, it's been just one delay after another by the defense. And it's ultimately up to the judge when we go to trial. The judge sets the calendar. The judge in this case, Judge Medrano, set us for picking the jury January of 2026. Okay, so we have a trial date. Obviously, I want to try the case earlier, but it's up to the judge when we go to trial. We have a trial date. We're moving the case forward, and that's a good thing. Now, as far as what I want to do versus what my opponent wants to do, I want to keep this case moving forward. We had a hearing just yesterday regarding what some of those ex parte motions and I have a concern about whether we have a level playing field or not.
I'm not sure that I know what that legal term is, so probably a lot of people ex parte.
I mean, so under the law, and it's kind of a fundamental principle, right? Everything that goes before the judge, both parties go in front of the judge to argue and be represented. If the state wants some sort of pretrial discovery, we go in front of the judge and we say, Judge, we want to have this extra pretrial discovery done. And the defense gets to say, well, we don't think the state should do that, or we're okay with it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for the defense. The defense should do that also. There's a very narrow field or a very narrow line of things that the defense can go in front of the judge and ask for ex parte motions. Or can go in front of the judge with just the defense there and not the state present.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very narrow field about what the defense can do.
Is the bottom line that people are going to have to wait, and it doesn't come down to one person, certainly not the district attorney, to decide how fast it's going to move along?
Well, the bottom line is the judge controls the calendar. Mm-hmm. You're right about that. The DA does not control the calendar, the judge does.
Maybe there's some people out there thinking that if it takes too long, the prisoner gets to walk free. Let's be really clear about this. That man in custody right now is never walking free.
Absolutely not. The shooter is never going to walk free.
But I can certainly understand how survivors and family members of people who died, want some kind of closure to this. They want to know that he's being punished. He's never going to walk free again, but that's not good enough for some people. They really want the death penalty, and I don't judge them for that.
Well, he has yet to be judged. All he's done is plead guilty. He hasn't been judged by the community, by the jury. He's not had judgment pronounced on him. All he's done is plead guilty. And I'm committed to seeing that this case go to a jury so that he can be judged. And I think that he should be. I think that he should have a jury, our community.
And this would be the state case.
Jury, yes. Our jury tell us what the punishment should be, life or death.
Who makes the decision to go for the death penalty?
The state puts on that evidence, but the jury makes that decision.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think in El Paso, do you think the venue might have to be changed just because, I don't know if they've made a case that he can't get a fair trial in El Paso or not, but I know something like that was happening in Idaho a few weeks ago.
Right. All three parties want this case to be tried in El Paso. The defense, the state, and the judge. Everybody wants this case to be tried in El Paso. We're going to try really, really, really hard to get a jury in El Paso.
I guess another thing that was brought up yesterday is the number of domestic violence cases that never get processed. Is that an issue? Can you tell me what's going on?
Yeah, it's not that they don't get processed. Here's the thing, and this is, I think, very disappointing that my opponent is judging success by the number of convictions. Look, the district attorney's office is here to do justice. Where our job, as it's defined in the code, is to do justice, not seek convictions. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and my policy from the beginning has been domestic violence cases are very special cases, very serious cases, and every one of them need to be looked at, but not every one of them need to be convicted. Okay? When you look at a domestic violence case, sometimes the best solution for that case is to send that couple to counseling. Get counseling for that person so that they know how to deal with their anger issues. Sometimes the best solution is to go for a conviction because you have to send the message that, look, we've tried to work with you. You have a history. You're doing things in front of the kids. It's been very violent. Sometimes it's just a push. So we have to look at each individual case and decide what is justice in that individual case.
In a case where counseling is recommended, is that mandatory, or does the victim and the accused, do they have to agree to do it, or can you mandate you go to counseling?
Well, that's the plea offer, right? Counseling in exchange for a dismissal. So if you do the counseling, then we'll dismiss the case.
How about what if it were a case where a woman, was saying, I fear for my life, every day this marriage goes on, or every day that we cohabitate, are there exceptions for recommending counseling?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's why in those cases we don't say counseling for dismissal. In those cases we say, let's go to trial. Let's do this. You need that conviction. Offender, you need the conviction because you need to learn that this can't be tolerated. Listen, just this week we got a conviction on a domestic violence case. 2 weeks ago, we got a felony conviction on a domestic violence case. So to say that we're not getting convictions is not correct. I mean, we are. We're getting convictions in jury trials on domestic violence cases. Not to mention the innumerable pleas that we're getting on domestic violence cases. They're out there. They're getting lots of convictions. But we don't judge success by a number of convictions. We judge success by doing justice in a case. And I think that's really the fundamental difference between my opponent and myself.
Our guest is District Attorney Bill Hicks. When you called in, we had to iron some things out and clarify a couple of things from El Paso Times interview. But when you called in, you talked about the DIMS unit, and I think a lot of people are interested in that. And can you explain that again? What the DIMS unit is? Start at square one.
Okay, so 24 hours a day, there is a assistant district attorney on the phone ready to talk to police officers. So in the field, police officers, when they make an arrest on a warrantless arrest, so if an offense occurs in their presence, like a DWI, for example, the officer is entitled under the law to arrest a person when an offense occurs right in front of their presence. They don't have to go to a magistrate and get a warrant and then come back and try to arrest the person. So under the law, in certain situations, they can make an arrest in without a warrant. For those cases, they can call up the DIMS attorney, and which stands for District Attorney Information Management System. They call up the DIMS attorney and say, hey, DA, I have just made an arrest on a DWI. Here are the facts. They tell the facts to the DIMS attorney. The DIMS attorney will tell them right then and there, okay, this sounds like a good case, or it does not sound like a good case, and we will accept it or we will decline the prosecution right there. So it gets the officer will release the offender, and the officer gets back out on the street early. The offender doesn't go be booked into jail and have to go through all that process.
That program had been diminished in some way?
Well,
during the previous administration?
No, there are some things that need to be modernized about it.
You're going to have to take my hand and walk me through that as well.
So we need to, like everything else, technology advances, and so does our judicial system, although sometimes it goes kicking and screaming. Our phone systems in the county are being updated. We need to update how we're doing our phone system for DIMS. We need to introduce a backup cell phone system. We need to...
Is the DIMS line manned 24 hours a day? Is somebody always assigned to it?
It is.
One person at a time or multiple lines? Because I don't know how many calls a DIMS person manning the DIMS line would get at night.
The most we ever have is 2 attorneys on a shift, and that's for those hot shifts when we historically have a lot of calls. And then there's also a clerk that's working.
Do you mind taking live calls? We have a question about, the domestic violence unit.
Sure.
Okay. This is Juan. Hello, Juan. You're on with the District Attorney, Bill Hicks. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning. Thank you guys for taking the call.
Yeah, you bet.
I just had a question about the whole domestic violence. I mean, does the whole thing go against women also? I mean, I had my ex assault me about a year and a half ago and got a call from the office there that they said they weren't going to pick up the charges because it was her first offense.
All right, so what Juan is saying there, does that sound typical of the experience in El Paso?
Yeah, the felony case that we had the conviction for was a female defendant. So certainly we have female cases cases against female defendants all the time. So they do occur. It's
are those prioritized in any way, or are they treated just like any other domestic violence?
They're treated just like any other case. Of course, we evaluate the triability of every case, and if you have a 6-foot male and a 4-foot female, and both of them have injuries, what's the jury likely to do? Right. So you look at each case individually. You look at the facts of each case individually, and you see how we can proceed on each one. But you don't. We do not discriminate based on the sex of the victim. So to be clear, we take each case individually, and an example of that is the 2 or maybe it was 3 weeks ago. Now I'm losing track of time with the election, but the case 2 or 3 weeks ago with the felony guilty was a female defendant. So we don't discriminate. We certainly proceed on female defendant cases.
How is that pamplemousse, by the way?
It's only the best for the guests of the KLAQ. I just got to say, I'm really impressed.
Let me tell you, what we do, we have pallets of water bottles, and we'll go grab one of the things with like 30 water bottles in it, but we put it in our refrigerator behind a door that does not lock, so people just come help themselves. Can I bring a case against them? Would the DA's office help me bring that?
That does seem like a little theft going on.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yes.
Do I need to set up cameras? Or
we got to have proof. We got to have proof who's doing it.
Final statement, Mr. Hicks, before you go.
Thank you, Buzz. I appreciate it. This election, like I said, it's about experience and leadership, and I have it and my opponent does not. I've been a DA now for 2 years. I have a wealth of experience that I am falling back on. I'm very proud of the progress we've been making in the DA's office. This is not the time to for a person who's going to experience on-the-job training. I have the experience and the leadership to continue this progress we've been making, and continue this DA's office forward. The people in the DA's office have been working very hard, and I'm very proud of the progress we've been making. This DA's office is where we need to be, and are continue to make the progress and build on the problems that we had coming out of the Rosales administration. We've eliminated that 14,000 case backlog. We've gotten the Walmart case on track and are set for trial. We cannot afford to take a pause in that case and step back while the new DA evaluates what he wants to do on the case. We need to continue to move forward. Mr. Montoya says that he wants to bring 15 people in. We don't have 15 openings. That means he's going to come in and pull a Rosales and fire people so that he can bring in his friends. We can't afford that, Buzz. We've been working too hard to put key people, intelligent, hardworking people into office at the DA's office, and we cannot afford to.
When there's a new DA, there's always some turnover when there's a new DA, correct?
There is.
But
yes.
This is just such a crucial time.
It's a crucial time. We cannot afford to take steps backwards.
All right. Thank you, District Attorney Hicks. Always great to see you. Enjoy that Pamplemousse LaCroix carbonated water.
Again, only the best for the guest of the KLAQ morning show. It's, I got to tell you, Justin has truly has set the standard for what it takes to be a guest of the morning show here. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate you slumming it with us this morning. All right, take a break. More of the Buzz Adams morning show's on the way right after this.
Happy Halloween! Halloween candy!
Happy Halloween!
See me at 5901 across the street from Walgreens, or visit vida-cbd.com.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Joanna, you got any plans this weekend? There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm going to go check out the haunted house.
Are you?
Yes.
What night are you going to be there?
Tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow
night. Okay. You going to dress up and jump out, scare people, or you're just going to go through it?
No, I'm going to go through it.
All right. God, that is so much fun, dressing up as one of the spooks at a spook house and scaring people.
You really loved that,
Is that what you do?
For many years, I would do it at least one night. I'd go in there, and it's just...
And you would dress like the people...
You know, usually we have a theme, so one year I was like a terrifying clown or whatever.
Right.
But you jump out, and that's what really gets the reaction.
Right.
Or not. And you lose your voice the next day, too.
Really?
Going,
from screaming? Right.
Carlos Mencia is here, everybody. You know Carlos. Everybody knows Carlos.
Yes.
Carlos has been coming in on this show for
decades.
Yeah, probably early 90s.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so glad we got a comedian on the show.
By the way, if you want to get scared, just drive across the border and make a left. Pretty much. if you're really into being scared, you know what I mean?
Joanna, I had a brilliant idea of what we should have done.
What?
Have the haunted house in that motel downtown where they were saying that it was like it made national news because it was like the Trinde Agora gang had taken over this hotel downtown.
That's super scary.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did that really happen, or was that BS?
There were like 150 calls out to this one hotel in a month from the El Paso Police Department. But there were also people there paying rent. It's more of a residential hotel, so you live there or whatever. And there were definitely a lot of horror stories. Ooh. You know, a lot of violence, either with fists or guns or knives.
Yeah.
A lot of blood on the walls, and it just didn't pass any codes. That would make a good haunted house. Because they shut them down.
Right.
And so I guess it's abandoned.
Fall through.
And you don't have to pay anybody. Just tell the people that used to be there, like, hey, come and be there.
Yeah, just come back.
Just come back. And do what? Just exist.
Yeah, just be there.
Right?
In your natural habitats.
Maybe you left some clothes in a closet or something. Pick it up while you're down
Bring
here.
your used needles, like the scary stuff. Somebody with a pinprick and just like, what is that? Fentanyl.
I got to tell you, I don't know how long it's been since you've been downtown El Paso.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's actually more accessible, and I think cleaner.
It is,
and you hear a lot more English than you used to. You used to never hear. Well, if you know it's true, have you been downtown, Joanna?
No, I haven't.
Really?
Yeah.
Like those shops, like with the crazy pawn shop that's got the chupacabra in it?
Mm-hmm.
They're selling chupacabras?
It's behind glass, and they want several $1,000s for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? I have been down there because I'm thinking of a park with colors in it. Yeah, so I don't know why I was there downtown. Right? There's
colors?
A park that has some nice colored benches or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably... Joanna, I can never remember the name of the parks in town except for Lincoln Park. And I only remember that one because it's under the freeway and it's a band.
And it's Lincoln Park?
Yeah. What's the one downtown where they have a lot of... It's like center.
Oh, Chamizal?
No, not the Chamizal. Downtown.
Oh, downtown.
Yeah, the big one. It's
right in the middle.
It's right around
San
the corner.
Jacinto? Are
Yeah,
you talking about San Jacinto?
It's probably San Jacinto Plaza.
Probably.
That's probably what it is. How's L.A.? I was in L.A. and we stayed in an Airbnb.
Oh, nice.
Right off of Hollywood, but not the touristy Hollywood.
Right.
Not the
nice Hollywood.
Not the nice Hollywood. East.
Ooh.
East Hollywood.
Ooh, you're right on the border of I have a dream and hey Holmes, what are your dreams? It was
I don't know what I was expecting because you hear these horror stories, especially for certain politicians who just target Los Angeles. It was not paradise on earth. But it wasn't as bad as they were saying. I mean, yes, there were people who had kind of formed little tent communes out on the pavement. But I didn't see them bothering anybody.
No, they don't bother
I didn't even see them panhandling.
No, and look, like right now, just right now, I was waiting. I was listening to you do the interview with the district attorney, and I looked across the street, and he looked kind of homeless. He was kind of running, and he tripped just across the street where all those rocks are. And he got mad at the rocks and picked them up and started throwing. He started throwing rocks at rocks. I'd never seen this before. He literally picked up a rock and I was like, he's going to hit somebody. And then he threw it at the rock where he fell.
How dare you trip me? I will slay you with your own kind.
Right. I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that if that was Los Angeles, it would just feed the narrative. Oh, see, there they are. Look, when I hear people go, man, people are leaving California in droves, I'm like, I wish that I could wake up one day and go, wow, this traffic is not bad for this. Well, people are leaving. Thank God. You were there, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know if you got traffic is just horrendous.
The amount for a gallon of unleaded gasoline is just astronomical compared to El Paso, and we're not even the cheapest, you know.
Yeah, if you guys are $3, we're about $4.30.
Yeah,
we're about we're over $1 than you guys.
I'm going to go ahead and say it here, and I hardly hear anybody say this other than Randy Newman. I love L.A.
I love it too, bro.
I love Los Angeles. There's just so much of
everything, every food, every person, Los Angeles is the place where if you like banging chicks with one leg's an amputated right one, a regular left one, and a red stiletto, just type it in, man. And that'll pop up.
That'll come up.
And she'll be knocking on your door, and you'll know from the pat-pat. I was going to say pitter-patter, but it's not pitter-patter, right? Because pitter-patter is tick, 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 tick. So what is tuck, tuck, tuck? Because she's hopping her way to your room. What is that?
With the one red stiletto.
With the one red stiletto. Yeah, but that's what dude, I love that. In L.A., I could say to you,
hey, are we in Little Armenia? Oh, we were the last block. We're in Little Slovakia now.
Right now?
No, in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah, you turn corners and turn corners.
And it's like, there's a little Japan next to Little China.
Yeah, there's Chinatown, and then across the street from Chinatown is Little Tokyo, and then just 3 blocks from that is Koreatown, or now they call it K-Town. So
there's still more Mexican restaurants than anything, even in all 3 of those places.
Oh, yeah. But we, you know what I love about us? We have like authentic Mexican, where when I tell people about El Paso, I was talking to my openers last night, I go, El Paso Mexican food is different because it says on purpose, we're not Juarez. And it was born from back in when you could go to Juarez easily. Remember the days when you could just go to Juarez and come back and be like citizenship and be like American?
Yeah,
and you could just walk in.
Yeah.
Right? You could just go have food. And now,
I think some restaurants in El Paso really play up that, hey, this is just like in Juarez or Chihuahua.
Here.
In El Paso.
Yeah. I go to those sometimes, but mostly you guys are very Tex-Mex.
You think?
Yeah.
Not compared to San Antonio or Dallas.
A little more in a weird way.
A little more?
In a weird way.
Can you explain it?
You guys, like what's spicy in Juarez, like hot sauce-wise, is not spicy here. Right? You don't go like that hardcore spicy. You don't put a lot of cebolla, cilantro. You don't have a lot of tripas and sesos. You have fajitas. You have, instead of carne asada. So it's a lot of stuff like that.
Joanna, is cilantro that thing that tastes like soap to me?
Yes, that is
cilantro.
Like I can't eat any of that pho or fa.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they put so much
cilantro on the pho.
Buzz has that gene that it tastes like soap to him.
There's a gene, and some people have it. It tastes like soap.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and I was always wondering, are these guys pretending to like this pho?
Yeah, no, it's delicious.
Soapy. Well, it's like they didn't rinse all the soap out of the bowl before they put the pho in there.
I think, bro, that I have the gene, or had the gene, or thought I had the gene. But I remember the first time I went to a place called Yoshinoya, and they gave me ginger, and it was in a pack, and it was red. Mm-hmm. And I remember tasting it, immediately going, oh, God, that tastes like soap. Yeah. And now I'm like, where's the ginger? It's delicious. So I don't know what I did or what happened that made me kind of get used to it, but now I can just destroy it. But it did taste like actual soap.
Joanna, I was Are you with us?
Yes.
Oh, good. I thought maybe you were screening a call. I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard, right? And I passed a gym, and I could hear the sound of activity, and I was curious. And it was the circus gym. All of the exercises are either trapeze or
A circus
Yes,
gym?
and the people walked out, and they looked like circus folk.
Oh,
and
my God.
They went there and worked out. Can you imagine going to work out, and you gotta snap a whip at a lion or something?
You just hear.
If I go work out at a place like that, there's got to be a really tall, white, bald guy wearing a black onesie. Holding a bar with two big round balls at the end that say 100 pounds each.
Yeah.
I need that guy.
Big handlebar mustache.
I need that guy right next to a dwarf. A little person.
Leopard print
like best
unitard.
friends.
Yes. Who's got the little funny hat? You know what I mean? And he's the boss. Like, I want to see that waddler telling him, give me 10, give me 10. I want to see it.
Let's take a break. Carlos Mencia is going to spend some more time with us. You can check out Carlos at the El Paso Comic Strip tonight. Saturday, there are 2 shows, and this is very, very rare, but there will be a Sunday show with Carlos Mencia this Sunday at the Comic Strip.
Yes. Yeah, and by the way, listen, I have a residency that started. It's not on weekends right now. It's only on Sunday and Mondays. But when it becomes Tuesday through Saturday, I'm not going to be coming here as often, and I definitely not going to be coming here for a whole week. It'll be like a one-nighter at one of the theaters because I'll just be doing, Tuesday through Saturday every week for like 50 weeks or something. So
is that going to be at Harrah's as well?
At some point, but just be aware. That's all I'm saying. This might not be the one that, I might be back next year, might not, I don't know. As of now, I'm still only going to be doing Sunday, Monday. Just saying,
Well, it's almost impossible to book Donny Osmond at this point, so.
Yeah.
Because
you can't book him anywhere. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's take a break. Would you ever, before we take a break, would you ever locate to Las Vegas?
Kind of.
Yeah, like have a place to crash
I
there,
would have a place to crash just so that I can not have to pay. Well, I already have a house in Oregon, so I don't have to pay California taxes.
But they let you live in the hotel if you're a performer, right?
Correct.
Do they put you up in like the...
I have stayed in that big suite.
Yeah.
Like when nobody's using it, they give it to me. Yeah. I feel like a god in there, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, the first time I walked in there, I literally wanted to pick up my phone and go, bring all the hookers. No, really. Like it needed, you know what I mean? It needed not to be empty.
Yeah, I'm picturing the room in the movie Smoking Aces. Anybody? Nobody? Smoking Aces?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to take a break, come back, more with Carlos.
Wow, all my opening acts showed up.
Hey, and look
at my opening acts, all of 3 of them. Nico was one of them, yes. Nico was, ladies and gentlemen.
Nico has
I got here before I got to work before Nico. Let's just put that out there. I got to work before Nico. And by the way.
He doesn't want us to joke about this anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh,
When have I ever said that?
You're 2 hours late, bro.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, but about you not joking. You joke about it all the time.
Yeah, but you were saying like it's getting old. People don't like hearing about it anymore. And then you show up 2 hours late,
and then he does it. Is that what happened, bro? You complain and then you show up late.
Buzz, I won that bet.
Oh yeah.
Why are you always making fun of me for being late?
Because you're always late.
He found a girl last night. So.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. More with Carlos.
Look at his eyes.
Right after this.
Hey, it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Everybody that's opening for you is here in the studio now that Nico
Yes.
Waiting for him.
Nice pineapples today.
By the way,
pineapple shirt on.
By the way, he was awake when you called him. He just ignored your call.
True?
I was here.
It's not true.
He was probably like, damn it, I don't want to hear this. And he's just, Buzz!
we have also Kalen Genobaga.
Kalen
Genobaga, my bad, dude.
Filipino. He's just
Filipino,
he's just an Asian Mexican. You're fine.
and Tino Cochino.
And Tino Cochino.
Actually, we have a rival DJ on air.
Well, let me hear about this. Maybe I
Tino
put the stop to
Cochino,
this right now.
You may have heard him on Power 102 at night.
Say his name again, Tino what?
Tino Cochino.
Oh, that was better, because the way you said it before, it sounded so white.
Tino Cochino.
There it is. There. Oh, my God.
¿Qué quieres de Tino Cochino? But your real name's Guadalupe, which is even crazier.
Super Mexican.
Yeah.
I look like my name's Brad, but yeah, Guadalupe Montes, Tino Cochino, yes.
Let me tell you, Nico is a very proud Hispanic American.
I'm very
to the
proud.
point where he got multiple scholarships that were meant for Hispanic students.
Oh, how pissed were they?
National Merit Scholar, Hispanic Merit Scholar, National Hispanic Merit Scholar.
Yeah, how mad were real Hispanic people?
He's a broke Beto O'Rourke.
Everyone hates him. I hate Nico.
They had me bring in my grandpa and some like form of.
That was your form of proof?
Proof, like, hey, this is
your grandfather with an accent?
I didn't have like a paper or anything. But
wouldn't it be awesome if this person had no idea that the accent is different than a Mexican one, and he just let it go? Would it be great if he came in and said, listen, my son, he wants to go to school. You let him? Yeah, he's Mexican. Let him go. Like, no, that's the wrong accent.
So here's the breakdown. Nico, his last name is Ajemian. That's Armenian. His dad is an Ajemian, but he looks like your Tio. I mean, he really does.
My dad.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's my, yeah.
Your dad is fully, it's like, well, there is a Mexican-American person and your mom as well. So how did you get so white? Is this what like a Mexican looks like if they bore an albino or something?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe a switch at birth.
Is your mom Armenian?
My dad.
What's your mom?
Mexican, Spanish.
So you do have Mexican in you?
Yeah.
Last night.
Oh, I really am Hispanic. I won the National Merit Hispanic Scholarship because I am Hispanic.
But the one part that I don't know if it's true or not, you had to present your grandfather to prove
I did. I had to bring him to my counselor.
No comedy stuff now. This is the truth.
This is real. Yeah.
Your Mexican grandfather, you had to bring him as proof?
Yeah, and he was like, all right, here's our family.
Did he have to show a picture of you and him together when you were a baby and had hair?
We looked. I had the same hair.
I think he's had the same amount of hair since he was 2.
Exactly.
It just got a little thicker, I think.
Got a live call. Oh, great. And it's for Carlos.
Oh, wow.
Chris, hi.
Hey, good morning.
Thanks for holding, man. What's up?
I can actually vouch for Nico. I know his family. His grandpa was actually a vaquero. This dude was like true, straight up cowboy.
Yeah.
Mexican
wow.
Cowboy.
And don't forget, Nico had a pony when he was a kid named Rose Hips.
Well, let's see how Mexican you are. Did you eat it? That's the Mexican proof right there.
No. What's up, Chris?
Do you guys remember we were talking about life hacks? Or you guys were talking about life hacks?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, my life hack, I have to thank Carlos Mencia for.
What is
it? You're scaring me, bro.
Every time we go to California, you hook up with that third family member, and you're at the front of the line at Disneyland, man, all the time.
Wait, you do what now?
You hook up with the third family member.
You take a family member that has a disability,
and you get to go.
And you get to go to the front of every ride.
Wait. Do you get to go in front of the fast pass?
Yeah, you got to go in front of everybody.
Yeah,
if they're in a wheelchair, right to the front.
That's the fast pass without paying for the fast pass.
Right.
Wait.
Okay.
Did you already have a family member with a disability?
Hey. Now you're getting Italian-y on us, bro. And all of a sudden it's like...
No, listen, and Chris, you don't have to admit to anything. You can plead the fifth at any point you want to. There are people you can hire to go as your family member.
Yeah.
And they're in a wheelchair.
Yep.
Or got a club foot or whatever.
Yeah, but you have to pay them extra on top of what the...
So it's better to get an actual family member.
Yeah, it's better to take a real family member. I mean, you can't get on Space Mountain, but other than that, you can pretty much get on everything.
Well, you get to the front of everyone except for Space Mountain. That's where the disability ends.
Thank you for that life hack.
Yeah, all right. Thanks
That's
Chris.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Taking somebody. I have a buddy. And
is that a friend of yours that I've met or not? Haven't met him? Yeah.
dude, we got into it with the guy that I normally travel with, Jose, because he was telling us that he does his hack, and we were just like, "Are you serious, dude?"
What Chris was saying?
No, what he does is he only flies on Southwest Airlines, and what he does is when he goes and checks in, he literally. So we're walking the other day, and he starts limping. And I'm going, dude, you okay? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, why are you limping? And he goes, because I got to tell him I have a disability. So he goes and he tells him that he needs to pre-board because he has a bad leg or something, which is not the bad part. The bad part is when the people in the wheelchairs are going down, he runs down to get across them so that he could take the first seat in the front because he's 6'4". And that those are the only ones that have legroom? On Southwest, there's only one row of seats that have extra legroom. It's the first. He pretends
he doesn't have a limp.
No. He pretends to have a limp.
But the fact that he sees other actual disabled people.
And he runs past them to take that first seat.
Running. Limp running.
Well, he pretends, but he didn't even understand we're like, dude, you're taking the seat of somebody that's disabled. And he goes, that's my seat. We're like, you're an a-hole, dude. He doesn't understand.
Jose is a really nice person. He normally comes with girls. Jose is a nice guy.
I didn't say he's not a nice guy.
Okay, but that's
that's not a nice move.
That's pretty shady
nice
stuff there.
I'm gonna text
like his father has a disability, but his father doesn't drive. He drives his father, so he got the handicap placard. But wherever he goes in America, he travels with it.
Well, my mom's got one of those now because she just turned she's 88, but she's got one. Right. Because sometimes walking through a parking lot. We won't use it unless it's like really dire, like we would have to park a long way away.
Right.
But it's weird to use a handicap sticker when you're going into an outdoor mall that you're going to be walking around in.
Yes.
It's like you couldn't walk from the parking lot,
right,
but you're going to walk around this outdoor outlet mall
exactly.
for 4 hours.
Exactly.
Also, gyms. Why would they have a handicapped space?
Some people, even people in a wheelchair, can work out. Go in, especially they probably, probably have a spotter or somebody to help them, but
it depends. I mean,
some
it depends
of these guys
on
in a wheelchair dedicate their life to just
upper body.
Yeah.
Have you seen like the Paralympics where the upper body is just enormous,
chisel,
and literally 2 bones coming out of the pelvis, like literally. You know what I'm saying? Where they put them so close on the wheelchair that you have to try to find their legs. It's just, you know what I mean. And then there's the Mexican prison buff that we call it.
Okay.
It's when our brothers or tios or whatever go to jail, average looking like your body, average, but then they come out and like from the waist up, bro, they're just huge. But their legs, bro, none. No, they did no squats, no legs, no lifts with it, nothing. That's called Mexican buffed.
Yeah. You don't do leg day in the prison yard.
Well, you don't need your legs to defend yourself.
Well, I don't know, man. I want to be able to kick somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I get I don't want to do, I don't want to do exercises that are going to make me more attractive to the guys in here. I guess.
Well, I think you also want to look intimidating to the guys.
That's my point, too. Right? Yeah. And it doesn't look intimidating when he looks like SpongeBob SquarePants. You know what I mean? All upper body and little, little stick legs coming up. That doesn't scare. That doesn't scare me.
I've heard people say before that prisoners shouldn't be allowed to work out. Like they shouldn't have any weight equipment because it just makes them like stronger when they get out.
You're giving them superpowers.
Well, our prisons make people worse, not better. That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. We use it as punishment, whereas some of the countries use it to try to, like Scandinavian countries, if you look at their jails,
it's about rehabilitation.
Correct. They're teaching them stuff because our recidivism rate is like 80%.
Yeah.
So 80% of people that we send to prison will eventually go back to prison. That's that number. And that number wouldn't be a big deal, but if you look at how much it costs to house these dudes there a year, you would freak out.
Well, that's important because
it costs money, but it also somebody's getting rich off of that stuff. Somebody in not even the for-profit prisons.
I was about to
extremely controversial. There's some people that are
we make money off of prisoners.
I'm sure this is an important topic to our listeners in prison right now.
We do have them. Hey guys,
what's up, guys?
Hey, to everybody listening in prison, hey, bro, your legs are too skinny for your upper body, bro. You don't look intimidating. You look like a 3-dimensional painting.
The World Series gets started. Do we have any big Dodger or Yankee
huge
fans?
Dodger fan. Huge.
Tino?
I'm rocking with the Dodgers, 1,000%, yeah.
Yeah. Any preference?
I know nothing about baseball.
Yeah, good.
He's like the Red Hawks. I hope they go.
Dude, this dude plays hockey.
Yeah.
Caitlin does. His whole family, because they came from Canada, so he was just in a hockey tournament in Las Vegas. So it's a bunch of Filipinos
playing hockey from Canada.
From Canada in America.
You're like the Caesars Casino buffet,
right? I a little bit of everything. I'm like Yakov Smirnoff. What a country!
Well, the World Series starts. First two games are in Los Angeles.
Yeah. I'm scared.
Dodger Stadium.
My brother, he's not. I don't think our pitching is up to par. So.
You told me your brother was a fan of both the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Yeah, but he's Dodgers.
He's Dodgers.
Yeah.
Oh, so if it comes down to it,
yeah,
I'll take the Dodgers.
Yeah, so I'm a Dodger fan because when we were poor, they gave us free tickets. Yeah, I go a little once or twice every year.
They gave you free tickets
when I was a kid. They sent us free tickets and they put us in the section where you get free hot dogs.
Oh yeah,
and a bobblehead. And from that moment on, dude, I'm a Dodger fan for life.
So on a very special side note, the Dodgers will be honoring Fernando Valenzuela with a patch on their uniform.
Fernando, Mania Man, passed away this week.
He was young too.
He was. He did.
Nobody really knows his actual age, though. I remember that was a thing.
Yeah.
They were saying he could be 24 to 27 years old. They couldn't verify how old he actually was.
Yeah, he was actually Mexican. Like
you need a real birth certificate.
Papers they disappear sometimes. It happens. But he was huge because he was the first Mexican-looking dude to play baseball and be very successable at it. Right? There are a lot of Latinos.
There were a lot of Latinos, but they looked like athletes.
A lot
Fernando
of
looked like your
afros.
Tio.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Fernando was the first one that looked like a Mexican, short, pudgy. You know what I mean? He had the accent. He walked funny. He had an attitude.
Buff arms, with tiny legs.
Right. Yeah. He had the mariachi look. You know what I mean? Yeah. Coming in a V, just a big fat V. But he was the first guy that, was able to to talk like all the outfield. I'm serious. The outfield of the Dodgers is way different than any of the sides. So
but
everybody you see sitting in the outfield. Yeah. Those people, those are the Dyer fans. So if you ever see somebody wearing a shirt, and they sell them, that says Dyers with a Y on it, it's because of them.
Go Dyers!
Go Dyers, right. And they sit out there only. They don't sit on the sides. They don't sit in your third base. Right? No. They're in the outfield, way in the back.
Since Kaylin doesn't watch baseball, I just say the Dodgers have one of the most freakishly phenomenal players of all time.
Shohei Ohtani.
Even though I'm a little pissed that he's been in this country for 3 or 4 years now, and he still needs an interpreter.
Well, I know. Well, do you remember his interpreter that got in trouble for everything?
You mean the one that took the fall for him? Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, his best friend in the whole wide world. That guy.
So I guess what it seems like to me is Shohei might have been gambling on sports. He would not be the first baseball player to do that.
He would not be the first any player to do that.
But there was his translator was willing to say, I stole the money from Shohei and bet without his knowledge. Give me a freaking break. Does anybody believe that's the case?
No, but once somebody takes responsibility, you know what I mean?
Anyway, this guy's an ace pitcher and a massive slugger. To have somebody who does both of those things is virtually just unheard of.
He did 50-50 this year.
He did a 50-50, and they just sold his 50-50 ball for, I think, $4 million.
$4 million?
Yeah.
Already?
Something like that.
Yeah, 50 stolen bases, 50 home runs.
Was that the one where the guy who... No. This would have been a home run. It was because a fan wouldn't have gotten that ball.
Right.
There was one where the guy had the ball and the home team offered him, I think, $100,000.
Right.
And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to try my luck on eBay. And he did.
Of course.
He did, and he got much more than that.
Yeah, of course. Come on, these guys. If they really wanted it, they would have given him
Yeah, you're an entire professional sports franchise.
It's an offer. You got to give them an offer.
$30 billion.
Yeah.
If you get outbid on eBay, I call that democracy.
Yeah. And the fact that you gave him an offer he could refuse.
Yeah, right.
That was on you, bro.
You could have counter offered.
Right.
Or just gotten on that eBay.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, I'll say this. I will, if the Dodgers lose, and this will be out of hurt, not anger, but it will become anger, I will probably be saying that Shohei Ohtani is not Japanese, because if he was, he would have killed himself in shame for having lost.
He would commit
harakiri. I am ashamed of myself, and I bet on games. It was me.
Let's take a break. We're going to come back. Carlos is going to stick around.
Yeah, I got a story just for Kalen, too, about a Zamboni driver. So.
All right. A Zamboni driver. Are we going to do news?
Yeah, if you want to.
Well,
I'm here.
You're prepared?
Of course.
Oh.
I'm always prepared.
No, you're not. Not at 6 a.m. when it's time to be at work. All right. If you got some news headlines,
let's do it.
Is that pineapple shirt like a swinger thing?
It
Like
is. I knew you were going. I knew when I wore this, I was like, is Buzz going to make fun of the swinger
Or else
thing?
you're a huge SpongeBob fan because he lives in a pineapple under the sea.
I just thought I looked pretty in it. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It does match the yellow on the top of your head.
Wait, did you say-
that's cirrhosis.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday
every time, us the most followed news station in the borderland. KFOX 14, coverage you can count on. Local and loco.
Don't you know I'm loco?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, Nico says that he's ready to do the news. We do have a Zamboni story, so for anybody from Canada.
It's true, yeah.
You might be interested in this. I did not know that you could get a DUI for driving a Zamboni under the influence.
Stop giving my story away beforehand.
Oh, it's the spoilers again, right?
Yeah.
So what happened last night? Like, you keep making references that everybody's laughing and guffawing at it.
We're not talking about me last night.
We're not?
No.
Oh.
Somebody got rewarded for telling jokes last night.
It was more like consolation for telling jokes.
It was. He was so nervous last night.
I know.
It was ridiculous.
Why were you nervous?
I don't know why, but
you're not supposed to be getting nervous at this point.
I suck such a big dong. It was like ridiculous.
Isolate that, please. Yep, thank
oh
you.
my God! Why did I say that?
He was so nervous, bro. So nervous.
It was seriously.
I wanted to run up on stage and just kind of go, dude, it's okay, relax.
I got a couple live calls, so I'm going to get to these.
Hey, let's get to Jerry. Come on, let's talk to him.
I'm going to go in the order that we received them. Jerry's coming up. Don't worry. Here is Noel. Hi, Noel.
No. Noel hung up.
Nate. It's Nate. Hello, Nate.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
Hey.
What's happening, Nate?
Not much. How y'all doing?
Good.
Yeah, World Series. I think the Yankees gonna lose. I think the Dodgers got this easy.
I'll be honest with you. It's hard for me to watch a baseball game unless I'm at the stadium to watch a baseball game on TV. It's just a big ask.
Well, you need 3 hours of your life, 3.5 hours.
No, they could have done.
It could be 2.
Yeah, they could cut it. They've cut it down.
Yeah, right. And they sped up this. There's a pitch clock.
There's a
now
pitch
and
clock.
things like
The
that,
games go so long. They have an inning where you
There's all
stretch.
kinds of good food. It's a great time. You know, you get to yell at the players. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's much better at the park. By far.
Yeah, but
that's not the case with football. I went to a Houston Texans game a few weeks ago. It's impossible to follow football in person.
In person.
Yeah, I need.
Oh, I'm sure.
I need Joe Buck and Troy Aikman telling me who's doing what. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to hear it. That's a part of watching football is hearing them two.
And if I can't see the first down line, I have no idea
where it is.
It's got to be on my TV screen.
Right.
Football's horrible in person. Yeah. Right on. Okay.
I don't want to wait. I want the yellow line there.
I want that yellow line and then the blue line that tells you if they're in field goal range. All that's great. That doesn't help baseball any. You've got to have something to look at other than the game between innings.
And then after, I'm going to complain about the commentators and how they talked about, Mahomes the whole game and how he's so good, even though they lost.
Well, they haven't lost.
Haven't lost yet. Haven't lost yet. And the sign of a great team is when they're able to win in those grind out games where they're playing horrible teams and it's just so hard to get up and they know they're better but they're just not playing. Those are the games. That's when you know it's a good team, when they can grind those out.
That's true. Okay, I'll give it to you. I'm a Packers fan, so we're doing all right.
You're doing all right. Yeah, the Packers are doing all right.
Yeah, Love's not bad. I mean, he's kind of having a slumpy year, but
and the Vikings just lost 2 in a row.
They were undefeated.
They just lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Bam.
And the Rams won 2 in a row. So now they're
North is the best division in the league right now. Highest point differential. I mean, Love's on fire, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
all right.
We'll see what happens.
Thanks, Nate. Appreciate your call.
Yep.
All right. Have a good one. All that's over my head. I don't pay that.
Really?
Yeah. When they said it's going to be the Dodgers and the Yankees in the World Series, I said, oh, that's how it was when I was a kid. Right. That's great. I didn't know if they were having. I knew that the White Sox were having the worst season of any baseball team in over 100 years.
Right.
That I knew.
Right. Everything else? No clue?
Nah, not really. This is Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
Hey, Jerry. What's going on?
Jerry, what's going on?
Not much. Hi, Nico.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, so I just want to introduce Jerry to everybody because Jerry has helped me out a lot. If I forget to post the podcast by even an hour or two, Jerry will message me on my phone because I give it out to anybody. And
Jerry's a ball buster, it sounds like.
He reminds me, and I appreciate it. I'm not the kind of guy that's like, oh, stop texting me. It's like, oh, thank you for reminding me to put it up.
Jerry, what's usually your rule? How many minutes late does the podcast have to be before you
minutes? God,
get in touch with
me?
No,
I don't go. I don't go by minutes. I wait till early afternoon, maybe late afternoon, and that's when I might start texting and finding out when it's going to go up.
All right.
I just want to say thank you, Jerry, for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome, and I appreciate it. I'm just glad you also called or let me call in because I felt like I'm sometimes a bother, but you're really saying you appreciate it. So
yes, you're not a bother at all.
Keep it up. I'll pass, though.
Okay.
If I'm ever late with anything, I'm good.
I do talk to you more than my mom, though, Jerry, just in case.
Well, he was late today, so, you know.
Right. Okay, thanks, Jerry. It sounds like you were calling this guy out.
No, I wanted to say thank you. I'm not calling him out.
Can I give your number out and people can start calling you at 5:50 to see if you're up and ready to get
That's
to
what
work?
you should do. That's what you should have done.
I've already given my number out several times on air. It's on my Facebook page. Sure, call me at 915-329-0282, and you can wake me up at 5 if you want to.
Please, no, because I do that, and he doesn't answer.
And
he's got the ringer on.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
Oh, no, he saw your call, bro. Come on now. He saw it. Yes. Just based on the way he looks, based on how long he was awake, based on how long it takes him to get here.
Is that what he wore last night?
Based on that 4 a.m. email
I made sure
sent
not to
Derek.
wear the same thing I wore last night.
Based on that 4 a.m.
No. I'm
email.
saying based on the fact that you chose to put that on. You didn't just wake up 5 minutes before you got here, is my point.
That's a decision.
When he called, you had it and you made a choice to not, you didn't want to just be chastised or whatever. Whatever you were afraid of. You were afraid of daddy. That's what happened.
God, don't isolate that at all, Joanna.
You were afraid of daddy.
But the other thing. Joanna, how are we on our breaks this hour?
You're okay for 2 more.
What's that now?
2 more breaks.
You got 2 more breaks.
Oh, should we do that or start the news?
You could take a break here, yeah?
Okay. Let's take a break here. We're going to come back. The World Series gets started tonight. I think that's what we started off talking about. Some people are saying,
Ohtani.
oh, it's the Yankees and the Dodgers again. It's been 1981.
Yeah.
1981 was the last time Dodgers beat them back in that series.
Did you go to a lot of Dodgers games as a kid?
He just covers that. Yeah.
All right. No.
I have bobblehead dolls. I have I still
like
have
Steve Garvey bobblehead dolls.
Yeah. I have a Ron Say.
Yeah.
The penguin. And the little bats, the little bats that they give you on bat night.
Yeah.
Because we thought it was real bat. When they're like, bat night. And we were like, hey, we get to see the
Real
game.
bats, right?
And we get a bat so that we could use it because we couldn't afford a bat. Little tiny ass bat.
It's like as long as your forearm.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's a classic matchup for sure, but we haven't seen it in 40-something years, so I'm ready for
and it's going to be two studs.
Hoping for some cheeros, but to all the Dodgers fans, they're nothing but some zeros. Yankee team you love to hate, LA is the same thing. World Series back and forth, and TV loves the ratings.
Hey, it's Chuck, and tonight on Loudwire Night.
Into Streamlines, call clickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
This Halloween, our nation is divided.
Candy corn sucks! Candy corn rules!
Let's come together and have a happy Halloween.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show. We're back.
Here is Nico Jimian with news.
Oh, hell yeah. And all of it is good. Oh, yeah. And the weather's good.
Good morning. It's nice to see you all again.
Oh, my. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Carlos. Good morning, Joanna. Good morning, Kaylin. Good morning, Tino.
Fake news.
Well, in the Canadian state of Quebec, the driver... Quebec. Is it? It's Quebec.
No, it's Quebec. I know. Were you trying
Quebec. Yes, I was.
Are you messing with me?
I was trying to. And then I got C blocked over here.
Sorry, man.
Where's J blocked? Joke blocked.
In Quebec.
Quebec.
Oh, my God. The driver...
Which is it?
Quebec.
What? It is?
No, just joking. It's Quebec. It's Quebec.
You should have kept with it. He would have believed you.
I refuse to spread misinformation on this radio program.
Do you guys share a mustache barber?
Hey, man, I'm liking my mustache. I feel like people approach me in a much more friendly way. I don't know what it is, but it just like
looks good though.
Yeah.
It's not like
welcoming.
It's not over. You know what I mean? It's not extra.
Doesn't he look Hispanic though? Just a little bit more Hispanic.
No, he looks like a retired cop. Like a cop, but a retired one. You know what I mean?
I've had beard before facial hair, but I've never done just the mustache. And I don't know. I feel like
you're liking it.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far.
Yeah.
What about the
free rides?
Getting
ladies?
attention? You getting attention? No.
I don't go anywhere. I don't go anywhere. I've been home.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Yeah. He just goes home and everybody's like, yeah, when you go and hang out at the cabal with all the people that
elites
make decisions about what schools to go to. Can I be invited to one of
I
those
couldn't
meetings,
say
please?
2 words. Honestly, I just got 2 words in. That's all I got so far.
Okay, go ahead. Quebec.
In Quebec, the driver of a Zamboni has been arrested after being suspected of clearing the ice while under the influence. The unnamed 25-year-old Zamboni man, whose name was withheld by police, managed to cause a low-speed crash into the boards while on ice cleaning duty between 2 games.
Got the video here, so he's going, as a Zamboni does, 1 mile an hour or whatever. I want to point out, this is an empty ring. This is an empty. It doesn't even look like they have seats for a crowd. So maybe it was like, hockey. What does that look like to you, Caitlin?
It looks like the seats are
covered up,
closest to us, like where the Zamboni is on those boards.
All right.
It said between 2 games.
All right. There's a referee. I can tell he's a referee because he's got the shirt on. He's skating, like keeping a real close eye on the dude. I wonder if he suspected he was drunk.
Okay. I think he hit the wall.
He just hit the wall real slowly.
Hit the wall.
Did that referee call the cops?
He must have.
It must have, because he went boom and it hit the wall.
And he got a DUI for this.
You can get a DUI for driving a Zamboni inside on a skate rink.
Going very slowly.
You're not on a road.
You can get DUI for tractors in your state.
Do you have to be on a road or could you be out in a field?
I'm not sure, but I know that if you're on a tractor, you know what I mean? One of those slow ones, you can
I knew you could get pulled over for being drunk on different vehicles as long as they were on a road. I didn't know it could happen.
I think that in your state, if I'm not mistaken, because of the way the laws are done, the laws that were not taken off the books, you can get pulled over for drinking and or what you call a DUI, DWI, on a horse. in this state. Yeah.
No.
Yeah? Try it.
Nay.
I can't believe you did that joke. But yes, if you're drunk on a horse downtown, middle of the night, they can take you in. Yeah.
I'm drunk on a horse downtown.
Wait, Buzz, I want you to play it one more time because he's not going fast at all on the Zamboni. It's almost like in Austin Powers when the roller was going to come and roll over him.
But listen, dude, that sounded loud, bro.
It did sound a little loud.
It's not like there's people there.
There's nobody there.
There's nobody there. So one of these two guys that were there must have called the cops on
They were watching him, and then they narked on him.
Okay. All right.
All right, moving on. Well, McDonald's said yesterday that the supplier of the onions suspected to be connected to the outbreak of E. coli has been identified.
It was Trump in there with no hairnet. I'm telling you. That's what it was.
The company said that Taylor Farms supplied the slivered onions that the CDC and the FDA are focusing on as the source of the contamination. Taylor Farms announced a recall of 4 raw onion products because of potential E. coli and recommended that customers like restaurants stop using all those products. As of Wednesday, at least 49 people have been affected. Yesterday, Burger King and Yum Brands made the call to pull fresh onions from all of its locations. Some KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell locations have also pulled onions out of an abundance of caution.
Okay.
Oh, man, I swear to God, I had extra onions on my tacos last night, and I'm not feeling right at this moment while you're talking.
Really?
Yeah, it's scary, bro. I eat a lot of onions, man.
I love onions, too. It's like my favorite vegetable. Well, talking to PBS NewsHour, Rutgers University professor Donald Schaffner said he was surprised that McDonald's could be involved in something like the current E. coli outbreak.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that it was McDonald's that got bit by this particular problem. They take food safety very seriously. They put a lot of pressure on their employees and on their suppliers to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen.
We expect it from Chipotle, right?
Is that what you expected from? I feel like, you know what? In other countries, this happens so much more often.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is rare that we get something like this.
Actually, thank you very much for introing. That's basically our next clip. Schaffner is talking about the recent food problems. Not too common.
I think that people are right to be concerned, but at the same time, I'll say that most everybody eats food most every day, and most people don't get sick most of the time, right? And so, but we're concerned about these situations where stuff goes wrong.
That's what you want to hear from a public health official. Like, most of the time, you're not going to get sick. Most of the things you eat from.
Yeah, but what? Why does your generation need a guarantee? It's dirty. It's life. It's messy. Yeah. It is what it is.
I think I built up my resistance to germs because if I drop like a French fry on the floor, I would pick it up and eat it.
Me too.
Even if I don't want it, it's like I need to keep my immune system.
Your biome.
I need to provoke my immune system.
Yeah, I don't get sick, but I also, put my mouth. I put a microphone in my mouth that's been spit on by God knows how many comedians and what they carry.
This one right here, too.
Right? Exactly.
That's Nico's seat, actually.
No. Carlos does a joke where he deep throats a microphone.
Yeah, and that's my point. But I never get sick.
No, but I did use the microphone afterwards, right after that.
How you feel?
I feel good. Okay.
I'm the one that got your disease, not the other way around. Let's remember, I showed up to your job before you. I just want to put that out there, bro. I showed up at your job before you. Let's just remember that.
You're a better psychic.
Yeah. Carlos shows up when he says he's going to show up.
Yeah. Well, at a press conference in Los Angeles yesterday, District Attorney George Gascon said that he will be asking a court to re-sentence Lyle and Eric Menendez in their parents' murders.
Yeah. You were in L.A. when all this was going on.
People are forgetting these weren't kids.
They were like 22 or 3, right?
Correct. Once you're 18, I don't want to hear you tell me that your mom hit you. Get out of the house. You literally get out of the house. You're 18 now. You can get out of the house. I don't understand that.
You didn't have to murder them.
I think there are a lot of people who, nobody's disputing that they blew them away with shotguns, but it's their claims of sexual abuse is what they claim.
Well, sure, but still, again, you once you're 18, get out of there, and that's a crime. Go report it.
Yeah,
They'll
but
put
mom
them in
and dad
jail.
have a much nicer house than where we would have to live. And
Exactly.
I can drive the rolls whenever I want
Right,
to.
but that now that shows intent. Now that's not a victim.
I assume this was something everybody knew. Their parents were rich,
huge.
It's something. Jose, the father, worked in the movie business.
Yeah,
somehow.
they were millionaires.
Yeah,
like
really,
millionaires.
They really had a lot of
Yeah,
cash.
but that's my point. So now they're painting them as victims that couldn't get out, right?
They were adults.
That's my point. Like, they were over the age. They could have gotten out. They could have told the police. They could have put them.
Have you ever seen the New York Knicks trading card from 1993? And it's of Mark Jackson. And it's a collector's item because sitting in the front row, right behind Mark Jackson, in Madison Square Garden, I guess that's where the Knicks played back then, right?
Yeah.
Are the Menendez brothers after they had killed their parents. Oh, wow. They killed their parents and then went and stepped front row.
Let's catch a game.
Let's catch a game. Yeah.
And those seats were about at the time $5,000 a seat. The ones that they got.
Well,
so
they just come into a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody's forgetting now that that's what happened and, feeling sorry for them. And it's like, guys, go back and revisit. You got to remember what happened.
I have not watched that documentary or the docudrama on Netflix.
How about this? LA District Attorney George Gascon said he'll be recommending that life without the possibility of parole be removed in the case and that the brothers be resentenced. While he ultimately made the decision, the DA said that the staff in his office weren't unanimous in the backing, but Gascon said, I believe that they have paid their debt to society.
I have to tell you unequivocally that we don't have a universal agreement. There are people in the office that strongly believe that the Menendez brothers should stay in prison the rest of their life. And they do not believe that they were molested. And there are people in the office that strongly believe that they should be released immediately.
Gascon said that because the two men were younger than 26 years old when they killed their parents.
26? You ought to have kids in your own pad, man.
Right? They would be eligible.
Your kid ought to be going into kindergarten.
By the time my mother was 25, you want to guess how many kids my mother had by the time she was 25?
I know what the final tally
I know
was.
the final tally. Yeah.
Okay.
8?
3. No, 8. Come on.
Kidding.
6.
Good God.
Oh, it wasn't that far.
She had 18, bro.
Every year, I guess.
She started when she was 15. So, yeah. She was pregnant. So it would have been 7, but that came like a year after. Yeah.
Well, Gascon said because they were younger than 26 when they killed their parents, they would be eligible for parole immediately if a judge follows his resentencing recommendation.
You younger than 26. 26? People go to prison all the time.
I know, bro.
The Walmart shooter is under 26. Don't cut him any slack. You want to hear which clip?
The second one after that. Down.
Right here?
Nope.
This one?
Yeah.
All right.
What that means in this particular case is that we're going to recommend to the court that the life without the possibility of parole be removed and that they will be sentenced for murder.
So I think the long and the short of this is there's a possibility they could get out soon.
Right.
Like not in 10 years.
No, right. They would be eligible for parole immediately.
And all because somebody made a documentary about them being sexually abused?
Well, I guess it can't be just the documentary because the documentary just came out. Maybe.
And wouldn't that have come out in the trial anyways?
There's a thing called the Innocence Process.
Yeah, the Innocence Project.
Innocence Project. Barry Scheck, who was one of OJ's lawyers, started, which is ironic.
Yes,
a guy,
the Innocence Project,
famous for defending OJ.
The one guy that we all
they said he was innocent.
Yeah,
which because there were 2 murders involved, that would be 50 years to life. However, because of their age, under the law, since they were under 26 years of age at the time that these crimes occurred, they will be eligible for parole immediately.
Some people are retired from the military at the age of 26. I mean, it sounds kind of silly that it's like, well, you were under 26, so we're not going to go so hard on you for murdering your parents.
But I know people that have served 8.5 for killing somebody.
Wow.
8.5 to 15, and then they only serve 8.5.
Didn't Snoop Dogg murder somebody or go to prison for it?
I think one of his guys murdered somebody. I don't know. Really.
I just thought it was interesting. He was out and then hanging with Martha Stewart.
Acquitted.
Yeah.
He what?
Said he was acquitted.
He was acquitted of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like recently, they just dropped the entire case.
It's amazing. A guy who had his own line of porno movies is now like a family-friendly
with Martha Stewart.
Yeah, and best friends with Martha Stewart. We got somebody calling in about the Menendez trial. As I say, maybe I need to watch this documentary. But I don't think anybody's saying that they didn't do it. They did it.
Oh, yeah, they did it.
This is Nick. Hello, Nick.
Hey.
Hey, Buzz. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good.
What's up, brother?
Hey, nothing much. Was just happened to be on my way to work, and I actually just watched the Mendez documentary.
Good. I'm glad you called in. What did you learn from it?
Well, I mean, as far as it's a very unfortunate situation that happened, especially with Eric, as far as with what had happened between him and his dad, as far as with sexual abuse and molestation and whatnot, and apparently also what happened between him and his brother growing up. And
what happened? Can you? I guess spoilers here, but it happened 30 years ago. What happened between he and his brother?
Apparently, his brother had done it to him too.
The older one molested the younger one.
Yes, correct.
Okay, all right.
So and again, I didn't mean to put out spoilers there.
It's not a spoiler. It's a true crime story.
Yes.
That can't be a spoiler.
This was 30 years ago.
I heard the Menendez brothers were mad that they put that thing that there was some kind of sexual contact between the two of them, and they said that never happened.
Is that
they had openly admitted it in court, and it was because of there was a letter apparently that one of the brothers wrote that was found in a jail in one of their cells, and then was basically presented as an evidence. And when they're like, okay, and then it had everything in there, details as far as into what the brother was saying of, basically it was an apologetic letter, but it was 17 pages long, something like that. And they found it in his jail cell.
So he wrote it when he was already in jail.
Apologizing,
Exactly.
basically. I'm sorry I did that to you.
Got it.
I'm sorry I diddled you, bro.
Let me ask you this, Nick. Did it change your mind? Do you think that the Menendez brothers should be free in the near future?
So then that's where I was getting at, is that I was a victim of sexual abuse when I was young. I was molested by one of my hockey coaches when I was about 8 years old, and I didn't come to terms with it until about the last 2 or 3 years. It took a long time to get through that, and I grew up somewhat as far as wealthy. I mean, now I live in El Paso. I relocated from Colorado. I grew up in Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
And
living in El Paso now, you're really wealthy.
Yeah, bring that kind of money here. What? You are a cartel here, my friend.
Go ahead, Nick. And I'm sorry for what happened to you.
Yeah.
No, again, it happens everywhere, and I'm a father of 3. So I mean, it's a scary thing, and it happens all the time. And getting into watching that documentary, there's a certain aspect to feel, but there's also the aspect that did they have something to gain? I mean, again, whoever's the special guest on your show,
Carlos,
you were 18 years old. You're 18 years old. You can walk out the front door. You
Exactly.
can leave.
Yep.
You can go. You're why are you bound there? You're in your late teens, early 20s, and you're still living at home with mom and dad, and this is happening between you and dad. You have that choice to walk away, and you didn't, because they had the cush lifestyle, because of the money, because of that. And I mean, one of the brothers going to Princeton. That's what I'm saying, is that they had more benefit to gain from it. And again, at 18 years old, you could walk out the door, you'd go to the police, be like, hey, you know what? This has been happening to me for a long time. You could, and I understand, it goes to they don't want to destroy their family name. And I understand that. Your family name apparently is more important than your own self, than you. Then apparently there's a problem there. But you had that chance and you didn't do it. And then so you took matters in your own hands, and then you took shotguns. And the thing with the mom, apparently the mom knew the entire time. That part was a little messed up. But apparently, by their words, that she was absolutely innocent because she was the one who was trying to keep their family together. but they offed her off too.
But Nick, you said that because of what you happened, you only really were able to process it recently, right?
In the last 2 to 3 years, yes.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 35. I'll be 36 on November 1st.
I've met a lot of people like him.
Yeah.
Because I talk about being sexually abused by a priest on stage.
How old are the Menendez brothers? They've got to be like 50-something.
They were 18 and 21 at the time.
They were?
Yeah. 18 and 21.
Okay. Yeah, both, should have been in college or something.
Correct.
You can live someplace else.
They both should have not been in the
All
house.
right. Listen, thanks for the call,
Yeah.
Nick. Appreciate it.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Have a great morning, guys.
All right.
All right.
Take care, man.
I'm still not clear on if he thinks they should be let out or not.
No, he doesn't. He's basically
thinks
saying,
they
no,
were
you
old
guys
enough to
knew
leave,
what
right?
they killed their parents for the money. And I don't know. Yeah, the allegations are real. I'm not going to say
I
they're
would
not.
have paid
but-
more attention to this case, but it was kind of happening at the same time as OJ, and that was 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Well,
everybody's talking about
their
OJ.
first trial, it was hung jury. So
The Menendez brothers had a hung jury.
on the first trial. So there was a level of sympathy there, even then. It wasn't like this was a slam dunk and they put it. They had a hung jury in the first one.
I mean, I didn't know if I was 18, and listen, my parents were great. Poor, but great. But if I was 18, if I wasn't getting any support from my parents and I had to get out, I guess I would have been I would have been basically homeless.
One of my sisters was a bit rebellious, and my mom was very, very, very physical with her. She left the house when she was 16.
Mm-hmm. What number was she?
She's number 6 or 7. Yeah, but anyway, she left the house.
Wow.
Hey,
I was
we
a
gotta
kid, I
take
remember.
break. We got to take a break. Carlos Mencia is here. You can see comedy at the comic strip tonight.
Two
tomorrow,
shows
and-
tonight.
Oh, there are 2 shows on Friday?
Yeah.
For Carlos's.
Usually it's only one.
Oh, wow.
All right,
Interesting.
So two Carlos Mencia
And get your
shows
tickets because last night was packed, so that means we're going to be sold out for the weekend. Please hurry, get your tickets.
So go to laughtonight.com or the El Paso comicstrip.com.
Laugh Tonight. You can spell that any way you want to, or the El Paso comicstrip.com.
Or carlosmencia.com.
Or carlosmencia.com.
If you wish.
There. Let's take a break. More coming up right after this.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
Can save you money when you bundle. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Carlos Mencia is here. Introduce everybody again.
Here are my openers for the evening. Nico, El General de El Paso. We got Kalen Genobaga, the man who skates on ice and plays hockey.
Probably eats poutine.
He had balut the other day.
What's that?
Balut?
Balut.
Is that the like salted?
What is that?
It's the egg.
Filipino dish.
It's the egg with the embryo inside it. You've seen it, right? The egg with the embryo
that
inside?
can't be a Canadian thing.
No, that's a Filipino thing.
Filipino. But he's Filipino. He's Filipino.
yeah.
Like on Bizarre Eats with Andrew Zimmerman, or when
What they got, like the egg, the
it's
feeder-
half. Is it half?
Pull it up
fermented
and you'll see.
Fermented or
Yeah.
cooked? What's the?
And then we got
like-
Tino Cochino, who's
not white.
Who's an evening DJ.
Yeah.
It looks white, but he tries to cover himself with tattoos to feel brown.
I need more melanin.
Kino is syndicated and he's on Power 102 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, based in Phoenix, shows in 80 cities and
80 cities.
Yeah, life is good.
But do you do you play music personally? Are you a musician?
I mean, I DJ and stuff.
Oh, you DJ?
But,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, this is a long-standing thing. Do you consider a DJ a musician if they don't play any other instrument?
Turntable's an instrument.
Hey, there you
But
go.
it's an instrument that plays a recording of somebody else
But
playing
you
music.
have to, but you have to control it. You're controlling the tempo. You're controlling the BPM. You're controlling all of it. You're controlling how the music
sounds.
Yeah.
So it's basically he basically manipulates sound. So it would kind of be like that the wired one where what is that?
Theremin.
That
Theremin?
thing.
Yeah.
It's like that. You're just manipulating a sound, right?
Okay.
Because as opposed to
I'm
the
not
guitars
hardcore.
behind
I'm
you,
not hardcore
no,
one way or the other.
As
It's
opposed
just-
to the guitars behind
I
you.
don't know that I would ever see myself going to see somebody who's like playing records. And do people still play records, or is it all
For
digital?
the most part, it's all digital.
Oh my God, you sound like such an analog oldie.
Well,
I DJ on 8-track, actually.
That's hard.
Different, man.
That's hard because in the middle of your set, it makes this noise ka-chunk and turns around to the other side.
You should do reel-to-reel DJing. Yeah. Let's bring it back.
Hey, we've got some app chat messages from our listeners for Carlos. And I want to thank everybody who is sending in the messages to the app chat. You can just download the KLAQ mobile app.
I got some neckline calls, too.
Awesome. So Eric says, I like how when Carlos is in the studio, he stays a very good while, and it sounds like a group of friends having a good time talking. Almost feels like a special exclusive show for all of El Paso.
All right.
That's sweet. That's very nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do this at every radio station. I feel like
No.
we have kind of a special
We have a
thing
very
going on.
special
Right.
thing.
Thank
Yes,
you.
very, very much so.
Here's a call.
My name's Brett, and I was just wondering, the guy on the Zamboni, can you be charged with a DUI if you're on private property? I'm not sure that they're allowed to do that because you can drive anything you want without a license on your own on private property. So, thank you.
That's an interesting.
Maybe it was a city
It
run.
must have been like a city run or one of those.
If it was a
I think this
private
might have
rink-
been like a youth hockey
Yeah.
arena as opposed to a professional hockey arena.
Well, let's just take the worst case scenario. If the Zamboni guy was drunk and there were kids, I mean, maybe he could have hurt a kid.
But there weren't. There was just the referee who was skating right beside him, watching him like he was suspicious.
Right. And the as big as the sound was, as loud as it was, it's still going like a mile an hour.
I know.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
I was going to play. There's another thing out of Canada. Police in Canada have broken up a crime ring that targeted golf carts.
Are you just doing the news now?
No, I thought we were done with the news, but we were talking about Canadians and the differences between Americans and Canadians.
I made
Right,
Joanna
Caitlin?
laugh with that. Joanna, didn't you laugh at that?
More than a dozen golf courses were hit. Police found 18 golf carts valued at over $200,000 altogether. They got some of the victims of the theft talking, and the first guy is just so Canadian. It just reminds me of the Great White North, Bob and Doug McKenzie from back in the day. No, you'll hear it. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. It's the first guy.
Looked like one person would put the cart in neutral and push it out, and then the other one would get the.
I love that. I love that out. You know, one guy put it in neutral and push it out.
Like one person would put the cart in neutral and push it out, and then the other one would get the other cart started. Well, you have that violation feeling, and then you have that anger or sadness.
To move one golf cart, some guy can do that with a pickup truck. To move 6 golf carts, you need a flatbed. You need to be working as a team.
And that's what that story is all about.
I think he could have said, to move one cart, you need one truck. To move 6 cart, you need 6 trucks. I thought it just pretty much, right? Like, now all of a sudden, well, with 6, you need a flatbed. No, just 6 trucks. What are you talking about?
Carlos, how many months out of the year do you think you can golf in Canada? My guess would be three to four.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe 4.
Well,
How do they even
it
turn
probably
a profit?
depends on the.
Do you know the answer to this?
I think it depends where you go.
Where
I feel
you,
like
it's
in
depends on the part of
Edmonton-
Canada, right?
Yeah, Edmonton, I mean, good luck. It's cold pretty much
all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
Yellowknife. You guys ever heard of Yellowknife?
No.
I dream of going to Yellowknife because it's right below the Arctic Circle, but it's also kind of a town.
Okay.
Do you know of Yellowknife?
No, what is that?
Sounds
It's
like a band.
city in Canada that's up so close to the, they do the 30 days a night thing, like in that movie and everything. One of these days I want to go there. They got a real cool music scene and
Yellowknife.
Yellowknife, yeah.
Hey, Joanna, is there any chance you have the audio of Buzz saying "babe" for Carlos?
Yeah, give me a minute.
Thank you.
Well, get the one about Nico and his dong.
I haven't gotten
Not
that one
his
yet.
dong, the other guy's dong.
Wait,
Get that one.
what? You saw
The
somebody's
thing, he said it,
dong?
and I told her,
So
isolate that.
Buzz apparently and I hang up enough where he called me babe accidentally one morning.
I'd just gotten back, I think, from vacation or something. Whatever it was, I was not in my zone quite yet. And I had been talking to my daughter, and that's what I call her.
Sure.
Her name, or babe. Come on, babe, let's go.
You weren't just talking right before that. You're just making up
The day before. So, Joanna, you don't have to play it if you don't want to.
I'm going to find it.
That's
weird.
So what happened before he said?
Oh, what's the
babe?
dong?
That's
Yeah, what's the dong story?
No. I mean, what happened between you two before he called you babe?
Nothing. It was just hilarious.
It was just an intimate moment.
I said,
It was,
hey, are we going to do a
he
podcast
missed-
today?
Yeah, are we going to do a podcast today, babe? He accidentally said it like that, and it was just so funny.
You got it?
On the air, by the way? Is this on the air?
On the air and podcast today, babe? And everybody called it. Everybody heard it immediately.
Of course.
I haven't heard the end of it.
Of
It happened
course.
like 2 months ago.
Of course.
We going to have a podcast today, babe? I don't know why.
Why would you call me that?
Bro, listen.
I don't know. Have you ever misspoken?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. I misspoke.
Bro,
I don't call him babe. He's not my babe.
I know. Yeah, I get you.
I got you, babe.
Bro, you know how many times I've said, and you too at the airport when they say safe travels?
Have a good trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then this one didn't help either.
In the 5 o'clock hour, I'd call up Nico. It's like, Nico, get up, come to bed. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
I get out of bed is obviously what we were even talking about.
Sure.
It. I call Nico and say, get out of bed.
Come to bed.
Yeah. You're on the radio all the time, bro. I'm sure you say some stuff every once in a while. It happens.
Every now and
I know,
then.
but it's beautiful when it happens.
Here's what it is, bro. I feel your pain right now, Buzz. Here's what it is. We're so good at what we do, and we rarely suck at our jobs.
Yes.
So
when
we do, they just pounce.
Yes.
Oh, they just pounce.
I don't think the audience would say that sucked. I think they would say they loved it because they won't quit freaking talking about
Now
it.
everybody calls
me babe.
I'll call you babe now. Hey, babe. you babed yourself into babe.
You wouldn't know this because we talked about it during the first 2 hours of the
Thank
show.
you.
But,
Okay.
I went to vote yesterday.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
You went without me?
I went to vote, but I didn't vote. The line was long.
Was it really?
And I don't want to discourage anybody from voting. I stupidly went to the one at the mall, which probably a lot of people go to because there's ample parking.
Right.
And I went during the 12 o'clock hour. I think a lot of people.
When everybody
I
was.
have never seen that many people. The parking lot was packed because there were so many people.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
Fake news.
Yeah, the line. So I'm like, do I want to come back another time? So I sit there and observe the line for about 5 minutes, and it's not moving fast enough. So I'm going to go back another time. But anyway, what a turnout. And I couldn't tell. Nobody was all maggot up. Nobody was wearing you couldn't tell who people were about to vote for. And there weren't. There was not any crazy activity right outside the mall or anything.
Right. Carlos, I want to ask you about maybe if this has happened in California. What's it like to vote there? But we have 6 propositions about raising our taxes this time, and they are written so obscurely, that it's
they're impossible to unravel.
It's almost like these things are meant to confuse the voters, whoever wrote them, on purpose.
Yeah, let's do it like this so they'll never vote for this.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me.
Do you kind of have that too? Like when you in California, do they have these
the
things?
languages? Yes. Like, so what they do in California
are you a consistent voter?
No,
you don't have
I don't
to answer
vote.
that. You don't vote.
I don't. I've never voted. But the reason I don't vote is because I want to be able to make fun of whomever gets voted in without somebody going, well, who'd you vote for? So that never becomes a part of I've made fun of every single president. And
I think you can make fun of anybody, regardless who you voted for.
Nah, but I would. I know myself. I'd want to. If I voted for Hillary, I would want to
talk about it.
I would want to defend her. You know what I mean? It would just be innate. It would just be something that I would want. So I stay away from it. Don't include myself in it. And that way I don't have to
I didn't vote for a long time, and it's just because in most cases I look at Barack Obama and John McCain. Yeah, either one of them are going to be okay. You know what I mean? They're going to be fine.
Dude, I do a joke about how I go from peanut farmer to now, and how nobody could mess up this country. We've had presidents in office that had dementia.
And you brought it up yesterday off air, I think, but we are living in the best time.
Yes.
In the best country.
Yes.
In the history of the world.
The country's so good that homeless people have smartphones with them all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's got a smartphone. They're not homeless. They got to be charging that someplace.
Our country is so good that we have a homeless problem of people that want to be homeless.
And then you told me the Venmo guy
Yes, I had a homeless guy tell me to vent. You can Venmo me.
Man, I don't have
no
any
cash.
I also had a homeless guy who, on the way into McDonald's, asked me if I could get him a Big Mac.
Okay.
So on the way out, I give him the Big Mac.
Now he's got E. coli.
He throws it on the floor and goes, that would have been awesome. That would have been hysterical. So I killed him. My point is, no, but he got mad at me.
Why?
He threw it on the floor and went, dude, what are you doing? I go, you asked me for a Big Mac. He goes, you know I want money for drugs. Stop. I was like, well, then ask for that. I would have given it to you. Like, if there's somebody that's not high, and he's like, hey, man, I need my next hit.
I would tell him.
I would give him $5 or $10.
I'm not going to give you money so you can go buy drugs because I need my money to go buy drugs.
and then how am I going to get high? But it's a different time as well. Like, you know, a few years ago, if somebody as an artist handed you a bag of stuff or pills, you know, you could take it.
I got so
you can't
many,
do that anymore.
I got so many offers from rock people. Some of them you would remember, and some of them maybe not.
Yeah,
I didn't know what they meant when they said, "Do you like to party?"
Right.
Go over, play Pictionary.
Do you
charades?
like to party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there going to be cake? I had no idea and as soon as they saw I was confused, immediately quit talking to me. It's like
they knew.
I had outed myself as a
correct
participant.
Right. Well, do you like to party means one of three things. Number one,
drug, sex, or rock and roll.
Correct. Pretty much. Yeah. It's pretty much
somebody
that.
could say, do you like to party?
Right.
And they're not talking about kids used to ask me that.
It involves one of those.
Kids used to ask me that in high school and middle school. Do you party? Yeah. My brother had a birthday last year.
Let's go to putt-putt.
Where did you grow up, man?
In
church, Oklahoma.
In church.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos, in church.
Carlos,
4 times a week.
The city that his city is next door, the town, is the one that Footloose was based off of.
So they say.
So.
For real?
Yeah.
They say that.
So
wait. There was because I was calling BS on this when my friend we were talking about this. Like there wasn't a city where it was illegal to dance.
He was part of it.
It's real.
He couldn't dance. They at his high school they didn't have dances. Or
yes, they did. Of course they did.
I thought you told me they couldn't do or at the church.
No, my college.
Oh, at the college.
They could not have parties where alcohol was served or dancing. I went to Oklahoma Baptist University, which was a good university.
Sure.
It actually got a first-rate education, but it was like, you know, you were like being at your parents' house, man. You could have a party on campus. So any off-campus party.
So there were no parties?
A party. Yeah, we called them functions. Hey, we're having a big function tonight, so come on out to, you know.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did you lose your
But then I
virginity?
went to OU for a couple semesters.
Okay.
And they didn't party any more at OU than the kids at Oklahoma Baptist did. They were doing it.
Right.
You know, there was just no.
He went to Oregon. How was I don't know the party scene in Oregon.
It's the bars aren't good, but the house parties. Oregon State is notoriously known for the good parties. People from Eugene would drive to Corvallis to just have a weekend bender.
Yeah.
So you would drive over there from Oregon?
No, I was never that much into party where I would make a road trip out of it. But
This
I would
town,
just stay locally.
You've talked about this earlier on the show. You go to Mexico and you didn't have to show an ID and get back. Kids started doing that. Nico, what age? Oh, this might have been before your time. They don't ID anybody over there. They don't card anybody.
Wait, are you talking about Hondas?
Yeah.
16-year-olds could go and get drunk over there.
15-years could if they got a ride.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Joanna knows more about it. Nico probably didn't get invited to stuff like this.
I used to love going to the border crossing at about 3-4 o'clock in the morning and watching all the drunk people come back across. That was hysterical.
I was just about to tell you that all of our local news stories used to be about like teens going over and them going at 4 and then trying to interview them. And my cousin was one of them once, watching him on TV. But yes, that was like a big thing, going out and partying in Hondas.
Yeah, it's a drink to drown.
Right.
Yeah, woo, go Wildcat.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, something, I don't know.
I used to love, dude, my favorite thing is watching girls, because it's not women, on the side with the doing that thing where they're both kind of squatting and holding each other up, and one of them's peeing, and all you hear is "It's on my shoes! It's on my shoes!" Dude, there's something magical about that. I used to do that when we were young.
Go down to TJ?
We would go to Tijuana, yeah, because I didn't drink at all, So I was the designated driver, and a good one because I didn't want to party like that. I just wanted to hang out. So yeah, we would go over there to Juarez on Calle Revolucion, and man, we would go ham. Well, they would go ham. Yeah, dude, my friends are like crazy, bro, because I remember one time we were like, dude, that's a transgender, and he was like, bro, I'm poor, I'm into rebuilds, I don't care.
Yeah.
He hit it, dude. He hit it.
We all look the same in the dark.
I don't know about that, bro, but I'm just saying.
I got a break I got to do. We got a lot of calls coming in. A lot of people want to either leave a message for Carlos or talk to Carlos, but I think we should remind everybody there are 2 shows, rare for a Friday, 2 shows with Carlos Mencia tonight, 2 on Saturday,
tomorrow.
And there's a Sunday show this time around. All right, let's take a break. More coming up right after this.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job
With more, Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino.
Keep it fun. Play responsibly. Need help? Call 1-800-572-1142.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
The KLAQ Morning Show with Buzz Adams is back. Only on 95.5 KLAQ El Paso.
Steve Kaplowitz is going to join us in just a moment for Go Sports Go. And we're talking about the World Series today, for one thing, but we have a live call that I wanted to get to first. So, we got...
Is it that hard to pronounce the name?
No, it's David, but... David, go ahead. You're on with Carlos.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
I just wanted to get with Carlos or ask him if he even remembered it. There's a thing I think of him every time I'm at like a McDonald's or Burger King. So there was an old joke you did about when you were in France or in France or talking to a French person, and you were dining out and they brought you a glass of ice or ice cubes or whatever.
Right.
And, you wanted more ice, and they were complaining to you about having so much little ice or whatever. And then you're like, not in the high restaurants in the States.
Correct.
Not in the mediocre ones.
Right.
You go to the low restaurants where they just give you a cup,
right,
point you to a machine, and sodas just flow down.
Yes.
And then, you put ice in there. You always put too much, so what do? You just dump it out.
Pour some of it out. You know what? That came from me telling people, like, if you really want to appreciate America.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
They look at you like you're crazy.
Travel.
Can I get a little more ice?
Ask for ice. Ask for air conditioning. Ask for things that in this country we consider
Ask
like
for a cold
must.
Pepsi. That you'd think, okay, well, if they're not going to give you ice, at least it's room temperature.
Correct. Yeah. It's especially in the older towns in Europe, they don't have lifts, which is what we call elevators. So you got to walk up and down like 12 stories. Yeah, you come back. There's a reason why when you travel and you go on a vacation, wherever you go, when that plane comes back to America and it lands on American soil, everybody starts clapping.
Yeah, right.
It's just
well,
weird.
they do that going from El Paso to Dallas.
Do they really?
Yeah, if there was a little turbulence or something, that's like
really?
a thing. Yeah, they little plot if it was a little bumpy.
I have 6 million miles. And I've only experienced that when we go abroad.
Oh, yeah?
And then come back here. But when you travel is when you really appreciate America. Because like napkins, as an example. We have them everywhere. Go get your own napkins. In most countries, napkins are not accessible because they're not going to allow you to take whatever you want.
One thing I could get behind, how about if you're going to a restaurant, the guy who owns the restaurant pays his employees, and we don't have to pick up like part of the thing by tipping, because they don't do that in a lot of European countries. They
Correct.
Definitely don't do it in England.
Right. They pay the prices of the food are a little more expensive, but you don't have to tip.
But you don't tip. That seems like it makes it easier for everybody.
Correct.
Except, I guess there's every now and then somebody tips a waitress $1,000.
But now with these apps,
you can still do that.
dude, like everywhere I go now,
They
Like,
just flip it around.
You
so
flip it around, and you're like, I could.
And it's a psyop too,
Yes.
because they're like, you have to willingly
choose.
Tell me no.
Right.
Tip.
Right. No. That's like, why are you putting me in this position at Chipotle?
All right.
A couple of
Thanks,
things.
David, for the call. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Couple of other things. Number one, you pay for condiments in Europe. You don't get free condiments. If you want extra ketchup, you have to pay for it. They don't give it to you, and they don't. No, that's true.
No,
I'm telling you. I was
Maybe in some
there.
countries, when in France, I went to McDonald's and you get your own ketchup.
Well, in Denmark, no, they make you pay on top of what you want. So if you want extra stuff, it's going to cost you, and you can't get drinks more than 16 ounces. The idea of drinking 32-ounce sodas is non-existent in Europe. They give you smaller cups, and you can't load up on. And Carlos is right, by the way. They all either walk or bike. That's why everybody's in great shape in Europe, because there are no
Not
elevators.
everybody's in great shape in Europe.
Trust me, people are in pretty good shape.
You're
They
going
do a
to
lot.
like Scandinavia,
right? That's a way different,
right? England, they're
than the lower states. Yeah.
right. There are plenty of chubby.
I'm basing it on Scandinavia. Everybody's either on a bike, they walk, and everybody looks like they're basically ready to run a marathon.
All right. You ready to talk some sports?
Well, Americans, we look like cows waiting to get butchered.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show presents Go Sports Go. Brought to you by the Viva Auto Group. Viva makes it happen.
All right. Good morning, Steve Kaplowitz.
Good morning. Game 1 of the World Series is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking on StubHub. The buy-in to get to go see the Dodgers and the Yankees is about $900 to get into Dodger Stadium, which, to be honest, Game 1 of the World Series for the first time in 43 years with these two teams, that's not a bad price.
I didn't think it was out of, what people pay to get into other things, like a Taylor Swift concert, but $1,500 sounds affordable.
Nosebleeds, I could get you nosebleeds for $1,000.
Steve, in our prep,
For
there
Taylor
was a
Swift or for the
the Dodgers. For the Dodgers.
In our prep, there was a story that a man took $94,000 out of his wedding fund for 4 tickets for the Dodgers.
Yeah, but he must have got good tickets.
Probably sitting in the Dodger
so I've got these. I just happen to have these stories in front of me. A couple, one for the Yankees, one for the Dodgers.
Okay.
A Yankee fan took almost $10,000 out of his wedding fund to buy 4 World Series tickets.
That's fair.
His fiancée okayed it.
Maybe she's a fan too.
Good for her.
They're going to have to pay for drinks. We're not going to be able to have an open bar, but I guess she's a fan too. Some Dodgers fans in Los Angeles are dyeing their dogs blue.
Oh, God.
Dyeing their dogs blue.
Yeah, they go nuts, bro. They go nuts. And they look like Bluey, the dog now. Go ahead and put the little snout on them so it looks like the actual dog from Bluey.
Yeah. Who's the favorite, or is this just going to be a great World Series?
Dodgers are the favorite.
Dodgers are favorite.
They have home field, so yes. So in other words, it starts in L.A.
It
with
goes
2,
back, 2
New
games,
York
it
for
goes
3, and then back to L.A. for 2. So
okay, so a little advantage there.
Exactly. And the Dodgers are going to be wearing Fernando Valenzuela patches on their jerseys, which they should, with the 34 and Fernando, who we lost a few days ago.
They should all slap on fake mustaches, too. Didn't Fernando have a mustache?
No.
He didn't?
I remember Fernando.
He was famous for
his baby face, right?
He was famous for, in the middle of his pitch, there was a pause, and he would look up to the skies if he was asking God, for things. So that's what he was famous for. That little pause, and we would all, like every Mexican would talk about it or whatever. That was like the very spiritual moment.
Carlos, we've said it on the show a couple days ago. Fernando is probably one of the most revered Dodger players of all time.
Correct.
If not the most revered.
Well, he was the first guy that, you know what it's like the Lakers? Part of the Lakers' big hardcore fan base are Mexicans or people of Mexican descent that have never really been spoken to, right? And for the Dodgers, a huge part of the Dodgers fans have been Latinos, especially of Mexican descent. So when a Mexican who looked Mexican, who acted Mexican, who had an accent, who we knew was an immigrant, represented like so many people in East LA where I grew up, that it was a sense of real pride, bro. Because this was
does
before.
It make up for them clearing out Chavez Ravine, mostly of Mexican-American families, to build the stadium?
You know what?
You know about that, right? They came in there and they did all of this is eminent domain.
Correct.
This is blighted.
Yeah.
Regardless, everybody's house in there was blighted.
Yep.
Impossible.
Yep.
And they moved everybody out and put
of
the
there.
stadium in there.
Yeah, and those are the hardcorest of fans. Those people that got kicked out. They're the ones that love the Dyers the most. But you got to remember, bro, today, how many times a year do the teams in the NBA have Los Spurs, right? Or Las whatever. For us, Los Dyers.
I do see it.
That's my point.
Really
they didn't have that
embracing-
back in the day.
Well, look.
So he was that guy for
no matter
for a lot of
where
us.
you go, there's going to be like a Spanish broadcast of a Carolina Panthers game. It doesn't matter if you're
Now,
Carolina.
not back then.
Not back then. Yeah,
Right.
For sure.
I mean, look, I was talking to somebody sports-wise about the prototypical quarterback today is an African-American guy or based on an African-American guy that can move, guy that has mobility, guy that can get you out of the pocket, a guy that's going to save you. But let's cut back to a time when they weren't smart enough. It was a white man's job. And a guy named Charlie Ward, if I'm not mistaken, who took the Seminoles to the championship.
Who wasn't smart enough?
Blacks.
What?
That was the whole reasoning behind they couldn't be quarterbacks.
That's not your opinion.
No, of course not.
Yeah, okay. God, I thought
Oh
you were
God,
saying,
no,
I thought
no.
The way you were saying it is like
No.
they couldn't because they weren't smart enough.
No.
What are you trying to do? Make national
Yeah,
headlines
Al
today?
Campanis said something
God.
like that.
Yeah, look
didn't
what happened
he?
to Al
And Jimmy the
Campanis.
Greek.
Yeah, they were fired.
They don't have what it takes. Jimmy the Greek, they were
weren't
fired.
They weren't buoyant enough. That was the remark that came out. It was terrible back in the 80s. So,
Well, what he said was black athletes are better athletes because we bred the bigger black man with the bigger black slave to create a bigger.
That was Jimmy the Greek.
Correct.
At a bar.
Correct.
After,
Correct.
he was out drinking with a reporter. He said this
Correct.
to him, and then the reporter reported
Right.
it, and it was all over
Yeah.
for the Greek. By the way.
But it's sad because what he said wasn't wrong. I mean, historically speaking, that's what we did. It's disgusting that we did it, but that is what we did. So he got fired for stating a historical fact.
I don't know.
You don't believe that we bred and got the bigger? Yes, we treated them like products.
Okay. I would say that we have
There was a
lot
reason
of
they
international,
oiled them up and
we've
they
got
put them up. You know what I mean?
We've got a lot of international African, I can't say African American.
Correct.
Like Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
And those guys are just phenomenally gifted athletes. They didn't go through the chattel slavery program like Americans did.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
But we have the majority of better athletes if you look at it like that. Like, think about why do African nations not succeed wildly in sports that African Americans are really good at?
Distance running, marathons. The Boston-New York Marathon is almost
Never had the fastest runner. Only us, and only first world nations, right? No African nation has ever won
in what?
In the Olympics in the 100 meter, fastest person in the world. Never been an African. Never been African female. What we did was
I don't
disgusting,
know
bro.
Yeah, right. I
Going
agree with
over
that
there,
part. I don't know if
picking the big ones, leaving the small ones, dude. It was horrific, bro. It was thinning the herd. It was just get the good ones. If this one's weak, he dies. It was horrible, bro. Like the truth of it, of how we did that is horrible, bro. It's horrific.
So how are the Yankees looking this year?
But anyway, my point is this: because you changed what I was going to say. My point is this: we've come a long way because back in the days, Charlie Ward didn't even get drafted. He was a Heisman Trophy winner who took the Seminoles to the championship.
He went to the NBA instead.
Because he didn't get drafted.
He would have been drafted, right? Steve would know.
Nope.
He was, let's put it this way.
Well, he probably wasn't.
He was not going to be the franchise quarterback like he was
But he
playing
would have been
point guard
drafted.
for the Knicks back in the 90s.
Yeah, there you go. But now the prototypical quarterback plays that style. And so it's interesting that we've come full circle on that.
Okay.
you think about it. Now you've got C.J. Stroud of Houston.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is the
every time I watch
standard.
Patrick Mahomes is he the first quarterback to practice a shovel pass? I mean, because he's so good at it and accurate. Usually a shovel pass means you got a 50-50 chance that it's going to be a turnover.
Yeah.
And he's so good at it. I just wonder if he spent hours and hours.
He just plays like backyard ball.
He plays
at the right time.
He distributes the ball sometimes like a point guard in basketball.
Correct.
Like a no-look.
Yeah.
A no-look chest pass going the other way.
Exactly.
But remember, before we had Charlie Ward, we also had Michael Vick. And before Michael Vick, we had Randall Cunningham. And Randall Cunningham, to me, was really the first mobile quarterback back in the Eagles in the 80s.
I remember.
That was able to kind of do it both. He had the arm, and he also was able to get it on the ground.
Yeah.
But as the position has evolved over the years, as you mentioned, now the dual threat quarterback is really what teams are looking for as they start to build their franchises.
Right.
All right.
Last night, by the way, look what happened last night.
What happened
Rams
last
beat
night?
the Vikings
Oh, yeah.
last night.
All right.
Shocker there. Vikings only had one loss going into the game. The Rams were on the verge
the
of
Vikings
collapse.
lost 2 within 5 days.
Yeah, they lost.
They
to the
lost on
Lions.
Sunday, and then they lost again, and they were undefeated up until that point. What's going on?
They're having some issues right now offensively and defense. They couldn't stop the Rams yesterday.
How
which was
did
the biggest shock.
how did Aaron Jones play? Aaron Jones
Did all
from
right.
El Paso. So.
Aaron
Oh,
Jones,
he is?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Aaron
Played
Jones
at
said-
UTEP.
Oh, wow. Minor.
Yeah,
Nice.
he had a couple catches, and he also had about, I think, 58 yards rushing on 19 carries. So it wasn't bad, but problem with the Vikings in the second half, they just weren't able to move the ball on the Rams defense like they did in the first half. So they were shut down.
All right.
Cowboys with a big one this Sunday
Yeah,
night.
let's talk about that for a little bit. It'll
Cowboys
be on KLAQ, of course.
And the 49ers, Sunday night football.
Classic match.
Dallas coming off the bye. Carlos, should Cowboys fans be worried that the season is already over after 7 weeks?
They're
3-3.
Yes. Look, I think the Cowboys' problem is that the past 20 years or so, they haven't figured out what the real issue was. So during Romo, they blamed Romo. If you look at those games, Romo passed really well, halftime. They're leading by 7. By the middle of the third quarter, their defense had given up 14 unanswered points. Now it's the fourth quarter, and he's got to push it. He'd given them, it was their defense that lost him. And people will say, but he threw an intercept. Yeah, because he had to. Because they were down by 10 and they put him in that position, even though he had given them the lead. Now it's the opposite, I think. Because now when you listen to Romo, you see how smart of a quarterback he is. He calls the plays. He'll see the formation and tell you exactly what's going to happen. You can tell his brain, his IQ is incredible. But now it's Dak.
He's like a psychic sometimes when he says what they're going to do, and then it happens.
And now it's Dak. I think that, look, there's a difference between the Daks of the world who are great and just won't get that next one, and the Mahomes of the world who, like we were talking about, look at his statistics for that last game. You would have thought, man, this guy should have been benched. What are these numbers? But then you watch the game and you go, oh, that's what was going on. He took what they gave him. He ran when he needed to. He passed the right times and
finds a way to win.
Correct.
That's the key with
He finds a way to win.
Always
I think he
finds a way to win.
I think we're watching the kind of the role of the quarterback changing, and kids are going to emulate Mahomes, and you're going to see a lot more of that kind of extreme creativity at the quarterback position is what I would say Mahomes is best at.
I think that's fair, too.
All right.
I know you got a break.
Yeah, you want to wrap up, or?
It's up to you. You want me to come back, or you want to just finish it now?
What do we got? What else do we got going on?
Okay,
There's the World Series.
A lot of college football this weekend. A lot of good games.
All right, yeah. We'll come back.
All right, well, I'll make it quick, I promise.
That's what I always tell my dates.
She loves to hear that.
All right. More coming up right after this.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Is 21 and over. Look for more info on El Paso's biggest Dallas Cowboys tailgate party with Rocket as Mile.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Back to Steve Sports this morning.
Place to be tonight is Memorial Gym. UTEP volleyball, Western Kentucky.
They were saying this is the biggest game in or the El Paso Times said the biggest game in program history.
Yep.
Why? Is there some long-standing rivalry between Western Kentucky?
They're both 10-0.
Oh.
UTEP is on the verge of the top 25 in volleyball. They've turned Memorial Gym into Club Memorial. It's like a dance. It's hard to explain, but when you get in there, they got a DJ. You know the DJ very well because he works here. Jason.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing music throughout the whole thing. They've turned it into like a dance club atmosphere, and the volleyball team is really, really good. Best thing UTEP has going right now. So they're playing Western Kentucky tonight, tomorrow at noon, and these are big matches for UTEP. They win this.
They sell that place out?
Yeah, there'll be about 2,500 people there each night.
Capacity.
So they do very, very well.
Oh, that's great.
That's right.
Wow, great.
Yep.
Good to hear they had a great season last year.
And they're doing it again this year. College football, Navy and Notre Dame highlights the matchups tomorrow. We also have the number one team in the country, Oregon, hosting Illinois. Illinois, by the way, last week. How about those fake leather helmets? How good were those?
Let's go ahead. Say whatever you want since you're an Oregon Duck. Go ahead.
I just want to say I'm very proud.
You got our quarterback. You got Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma.
Yeah. Oh,
That's right.
we did.
And
thank you guys.
We get rid of quarterbacks, and then they kill it wherever they go to.
Well, Gabriel was good at Oklahoma. He wasn't a slug. He was really good. Just wasn't a number one team in the country.
He was really good, but I thought Sean Rattler was really good too. You know, and
was he?
I thought he was. They benched him in favor of Caleb Williams,
right?
And but
Rattler's now the quarterback in New Orleans.
He's the quarterback. I think he will probably start this weekend, won't he?
Yeah, most likely, as long as Derek Carr's out. Yeah, that's right. So, congratulations on Oregon, by the way. For now, number one team in the country.
The first time, right? First time you guys have ever been number one in your lifetime, I think?
Yeah. I can't
People are talking about, so last week at this time, Texas was number one. People are talking about, like, Texas is out of it for the year.
No, they're 5-1. They're 6-1. They're fifth in the country. Yeah, so they're playing Vanderbilt this weekend.
They'll destroy Vanderbilt, bro.
Vanderbilt beat Alabama.
They'll destroy Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Vanderbilt beat Alabama. Does Alabama have a path to the national championship?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Isn't it the 12 teams this year?
Yes, it is.
You don't think they'll be top 12?
They're 15th right now, and they can't afford any more losses.
They got 2 losses, right?
They do.
Yeah.
And they're
Back to
hosting,
back?
and they're hosting 6-1 Missouri.
Maybe not back to back, but both of them were the Tennessee teams.
2 and 3 weeks is basically what it's been. It's been a rough go for Alabama. So Texas plays Vandy, and then we've got LSU and A&M. Another good matchup. A lot of good SEC games this weekend. SEC is always
it's
the
the
best
SEC
conferences in college football. That is right.
Before we take off, a big announcement. It's Carlos's birthday weekend. I don't know if
it is my birthday weekend.
Hey! Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy
22nd.
birthday.
22nd is my birthday. So this is my birthday weekend. So come spend my birthday with me.
Yeah, come on out. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, and 1 show on Sunday. Also, a caller just left a neckline message asking something very important, Buzz. They want to know, did you get your phone gummy unstuck from the charging port? Because he left a gummy. You know what kind of gummy I'm talking about in his pocket.
Like a gummy bear.
Yeah.
Or it could have been those 2-headed snakes. I'm not sure.
Right.
And it got in his iPhone, this, and he couldn't get it out.
I put the gummy in my pocket for later.
Or of course.
And then I drop my phone in there and forget about both of them. And when I get the phone out, the gummy has just melted inside my iPhone hole.
Yeah. So now, is your phone a little slower?
It wouldn't charge. Like I couldn't get it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's working again.
Right. Okay. That's good.
Steve cleaned it out with a toothpick.
Really?
Yeah.
Disgusting. The toothpick was all black when I was done.
That doesn't sound like gummy bears.
It was a green gummy. Very green.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. Very, very green. You're right. All right, let me talk for a moment about Underdog. That is the place to be if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. A lot of ways to do it. With their pick'em game, you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on players' stats. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and stars to choose from, like the World Series tonight. You can play Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, and all your favorites. Not to mention with Underdog's double flex auction, you can even take 2 L's and still have your entry to be a win. Now, This season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, and it's Boostober Buzz. From now until October 27th, you can boost your profit on all NBA entries by 20%. Underdog is literally giving you unlimited profit boosts to make basketball picks since NBA season is here. Download the app, sign up with promo code KLAQ, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code KLAQ. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
All right, we've got 1 minute. Everybody everybody promote everything you want to promote. Steve?
World Series will be airing it tomorrow. Along with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week on 600 ESPN El Paso.
Friday because of high school football?
High school football. We got football Friday night tonight.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Carlos.
He already said us, so we're good. But Real Madrid is playing El Clásico tomorrow against Barcelona. A la Madrid.
Tino Caccino.
Yeah. Come to the show. Have fun. Instagram.
Instagram. This guy so smoothly got somebody's Instagram.
Yeah, I saw that.
I would have loved to have done, but I just don't have that level of suavite.
Yeah. He was like, you know what? You got to tag me on that. So here's my thing. I was like, son of a...
A promotion, Carlos.
Okay. Oh, thanks for... Oh, you did it for me. I love you, bro. I love you. My opener's always thinking about me.
Yes, Kaylin.
I would also like an Instagram follow if you guys are down for that. Kaylin.g _ and Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Yeah.
Number one team. Joanna.
Yo.
You can follow Joanna at the Haunted House this weekend.
Haunted House this weekend, 13900 Montana. I'll be out
How
there.
many old dudes in your lifetime have sang that song Joanna to you?
So many.
Joanna,
Look at
I
that.
love you. You're the one for me.
Thank you. And I just added another old dude singing it.
Slinging fire.
And that's how we end. Burn!
Well, that's it. Show's over.
What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is.
Right. That's the end.
And that's the end. That's the end.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show will be back Monday morning.
Hello, everybody. It's the weekend.